Okay, we're live, people. What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? We are live. We are here. Let me send this in the Discord. We are back for NRO Podcast. This is actually episode 105. Can you believe it? Let me do this. I got one more.
Well, it should be episode 130 at this point, right? But how many times we cancel, man?
Well, at least we're here. Some people never come back like Post Up. I wonder why Post Up ain't around no more. What happened?
Oh, he is on Twitter, so
he's on what?
He's on Twitter, so
I mean, but his show, what is that? State of Gaming? What happened to State of Gaming?
Bro, he don't want that smoke. Trust me.
What's up, Navanzor? What happened to State of Gaming and shit? Yeah, man. Noah came in there talking shit one time, and we blew away. What was it? We had way more followers than he had in his last 20 videos or some shit. And during the live stream, we had more people watching during his last 20 videos. Yeah, what happened to State of Gaming? What happened to them dudes? Anyway, what's up, everybody? Hit that like button as you come in, please. It's been a long time coming. I want to talk about a couple things. I'm going to talk about, we're definitely going to talk about Ghost of Yotei. And I'm trying to reserve my enthusiasm. We'll get to that. But I'll say, here's what I'll say. I'll say generally, people were impressed, and let me know how my audio is too. I know my audio has been kind of screwed up. I don't know what I think I need a new mic. I think my mic just went out and I probably need a new mic. I switched cords, a whole bunch of stuff. I've tried a variety of things. No. It's not my mic. It's OBS for some reason, because when I listen to myself through voice meter, I'm fine. So it's something with OBS. Navanzor said, yes, sir, we are here. Good to see you, Navanzor, as always. Let me know how the audio is.
That dude lives on YouTube, bro. He is always the first one.
Howdy, says Voyager 88. What's up, Voyager? Good to see you. Hit that like button as you guys come in. We really appreciate it. Apologies. As Cold Blood was referencing a lack of content. It's been crazy, man. It's a crazy month, and I'm doing a bunch of stuff at work, so we're trying to squeeze in stuff as much as we can, or as much as I can. That's why I seriously urge you guys, the spirit of the content is definitely in the Discord. Join the Discord once I get done with this project, which will be going until like July, till the end of this month. But yeah, you can get all the chills and thrills in the Discord, definitely. Like, you can rock out with those guys as they're watching the Yotei State of Play and all that shit. I definitely, yeah, Voyager. Yeah, crap happens. I know you are our most stringent and faithful supporters. Y'all get it. Plus, I've still been having a pulse on what's going on in the gaming news. It's dry as shit out there. It's dry as it's dry as an 80-year-old box out here, man. It's dry. But hit that like button. We got people talking crazy. Ghost of Yotei is done, and PlayStation is cooked because of it, and Starfield looks better. That's how bad it is. So we're gonna address that. But hit that like button as you guys come in. Shout out to Andrew Wilkins. He said Xbox community is always delusional and psycho. Yeah, they look, man. It's I don't know. It's like they caught rabies. Like Phil Spencer finally came out of the woods and bit them, and they're just going through a state of delusion, and they're just saying some of the crazy shit online. They don't know what to do. They don't know if they want to be PC refugees. They don't know if they want to continue the console war fight. You got some creators that 1 minute Xbox is dead. 1 minute Xbox is great. Then Xbox lays off 11 billion people. And now they want to say, well, we don't know what Xbox is going to do, and this, that, and the other, right? Yeah, they don't know which way to go. Here's what I will say. Trying to placate to Xbox is like trying to be a sidekick to the Penguin from DC, right? If you saw the Penguin, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Trying to placate to Xbox is like trying to be a sidekick to the Penguin. You will always get fucked in the end. You know what? I want to show you guys a tweet. Before we get into all that, I got to give my flowers to my brother that's been holding it down in the Discord, doing what he can, cold blood. What's going on with you, brother? What you been playing, man?
Death Stranding.
How many hours you got in?
Oh, wait, let me see. It says 63.
Damn, you got 63 hours. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What you think so far?
Masterpiece. And I'm literally at the end of the story. Like, if I just walk a few meters, the last fucking cutscenes and everything gonna play. I'm here because you made me wait. I thought we were gonna go live earlier, or I would have beaten the game already. Goddammit! But now, bro, this game is just it fucks everything this year. I'm sorry. Like, y'all can have your expeditions or whatever. That's your opinion, but bro, for me, Death Stranding just killed everything else this year. Even Yotei, bro. Like, nah, Yotei ain't gonna be as great as this.
Yeah, we're gonna do that poll. We're gonna do that poll. We're gonna do 2 polls today. Let me see. I'm actually setting up the other one right now. Hold on, right now. We're first. I want to do a poll on Yotei. Okay, so I got a poll. What did you think of the Yotei State of Play? Did you think it was awesome? You think it was pretty good? You think it was meh? Or you think it was trash? Let us know in the poll that we have up there. Then when we get to the Game of the Year conversation, we'll put up there who's going to win Game of the Year.
So I can tell you my vote. It would be awesome. Like,
awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
The State of Play was great. Yes.
Yeah. I know we were talking.
It showed. Look, in my opinion, this is how you should always make every single fucking marketing for a game. Like, show the fucking game, show the new features if it's a sequel, and be done with it. You don't need no other marketing anymore. This is more than enough. Like, I don't want to see the story now. Like, I'm good until the game comes out. You don't have to show me nothing else. I know now that I ain't gonna play it in English. That's for damn sure, because that is an embarrassment to English voice acting. What she delivered, bro. Like, nah, that is just terrible. I am so thankful to Sucker Punch that they at least had the fucking idea to make lip syncing for Japanese, because I would be so pissed, bro, if they didn't.
Well, I got good news, Old Blood. Speaking of, because I'm looking to get Ghost of Yotei video to download. We're not shadow banned anymore. Ain't that some shit?
What do you mean not shadow banned?
I mean, because YouTube was, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube, for whatever reason, we'll probably get shadow banned again after I announce this, but who cares? YouTube, for some reason, if a bunch of haters go and not downvote, because they don't care about downvotes. Downvotes will actually help your video just because it's engagement. But if a whole bunch of people will complain about your video, you'll get shadow banned. And unfortunately, from the Stadia days, Cold Blood's gonna say, I told you, you shouldn't have been trotting over there. From the Stadia days, we had a bunch of weirdos that when they didn't like what you said about something, they would go and report you to YouTube. And instead of YouTube actually having a system to legitimize what you're being complained about. They just shadow ban you, meaning they don't put you in the searches and they put your shit at the bottom, right? And so what happens to this channel like every 6 months, I guess every 6 months it'll accumulate whatever and then it'll stop. So we were shadow banned like we were having a hot period, and then I guess we were getting shadow banned because our volume was up too high, and then it went down, and now we're back up. So we're actually in the searches again now. So but you know what helps with us getting shadow banned? If you want to see the content, number one, change the bell to all. That's another reason why I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna break my neck creating content on here regularly. This is even before I got busy at work, because all we need y'all to do is just change the bell to all, and people, the staunchest supporters were doing it, but everybody else that came to the channel wasn't doing it, for one. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, all we need y'all to do is hit likes. Like, we got 21 people watching now, we only got 6 likes. Like, even if y'all do dislikes, if you dislike me because you don't like that I hang out with cold blood, you don't like the sound of my voice, whatever it is, you don't like that I like cold cuts, hit that dislike button. You're here. So, but some of you that shadow watch, you probably are the ones that are trying to report the channel like some sour bitches. Oh my God, he doesn't like Xbox. Ugh. He didn't buy a Switch too. But yeah. So we're not shadow banned anymore. I guess until after this content. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were talking about your initial thoughts of the state of play for Yotei.
Oh, you asked me?
Yeah. You were. I'm sorry. I cut you off while you were talking about your thoughts of the state of play.
Well, to be honest with you, like I said, I was good with everything besides the damn voice acting. Like, you gotta be crazy to have put someone as talentless as this woman for your main character. Like, holy shit. What the fuck?
Keep talking to let people know. I gotta run. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I mean, what is there to say besides that? Like, I am not happy with the English voice acting, so I would just play it in Japanese, and that's it. I don't know. What you guys thinking? Oh, Trucknet with the fucking hate again.
Okay, sorry about that.
Bro, read Trucknet's fucking comment.
Hold on, you said read what?
Read Trucknet's fucking comment.
Oh, let me see what Trucknet got to say. Oh shit, this motherfucker. What did he say? Oh, he said Ghost of Yotei looks like a standalone expansion, minimum upgrades across the board with an overdone generic revenge story. Okay, I got one simple thing to say to that. It looks better than anything Xbox has put out in the last 13 years. Let's just say if everything that you put out there is right, which it isn't, and I'm saying objectively from people watching it, it looks better than anything Xbox put out there in the last 13 years. Anything.
So wait. By his logic, Hellblade 2 is the most lazy ass expansion ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you literally are doing the same shit again, like in the first one.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna argue with you. I mean, I can. I don't look at it the same way, but let's play devil's advocate. Let's just say that everything that you said in that comment is right. It looks better by miles than anything Xbox has put out in the last 13 years. End of story. We continue. And I pinned that comment because when we fully talk about what's going on, we'll get into it. No. Hellblade, when I say look, we conceptually know what I say look is about. Like, for instance, what was that Matrix? Wasn't there the Matrix gameplay demo that was out there that was impressive to everybody and was like, you know, real bad? Or that gameplay demo that they did for Unreal Engine. Hold on. What's this? They did a gameplay demo for Unreal Engine, right? That looked awesome too, right? Yeah. I'm not talking about aesthetically. I'm talking about me looking at the gameplay, seeing the storyline content, the topical storyline content, along with the aesthetics. And it looks better than anything that Xbox has put out in the last 13 years. I don't just play graphics, you play an entire package. Right? Or do you just sit there and stare at a scene like a slideshow every now and again, and that's how you rate games?
Bro, that's literally what they do. Look at their fucking playtimes, bro. And their achievements. It's 0 gamer score and fucking 18 hours. That's all they do all day. They fucking do some screenshots of the shit, bro.
Yeah, Trucknet, you caught that L, you caught an L, you just got bodied. You need to stop it, because you're an intellectual person that just likes to that tries to play a lot of what do you call that? Damn. What is the word I'm looking for? Semantics. You like to play a lot of semantics in your arguments, and that's what a lot of you Xbox people do. But it's fun and it's entertaining to like slap you around a little bit. This time you're looking lowbrow intelligence wise. Stop it. I just explained to you that it's not about the aesthetics. You're talking about aesthetics. Hellblade 2 does not look like overall. When I say look, you know the general. You're trying to play semantics. When I say look, I'm not talking about aesthetics. I'm talking about envisioning the gameplay, envisioning the storyline, the art design, all of that stuff, the accumulation of everything that goes into a game. Hellblade 2 does not look better beyond aesthetics than Hellblade 1. Period. Go ahead, Coldblood. I'm sorry.
No, but I had nothing to say.
Oh, I thought you was yeah. They said Truck Juice said Trucknet is boomsticks murder account. No, Truck, you gotta let that one go, bro. You gotta let that. You pulled out a poor example. You know, and again, I'm not, and just to throw right back at you what you were arguing. I'm not. I for devil's advocate, I won't debate you on all this lowbrow stuff that you said. Yotei looks like a standalone expansion, minimum upgrades across the board with an overdone generic revenge story. I won't argue with you on that one. And what I might even do is say, you know what, on the surface, your last point, an overdone generic revenge story. Okay. From a topical view, yeah. Okay, all right, fine. But let's just say if I agree with everything, it still looks better from a holistic standpoint than anything Xbox has put out in the last 13 years. Anything.
Or Nintendo.
We won't even go there, because you know them Nintendo dudes. What was the game, Cold Blood, that they were showing this week? Was it Forza? I think, isn't Forza coming to the Switch or something like that? And they compared there was a racing game that I saw that they were putting on Twitter this week, and then there's a Switch version and there's a Series S version, and the Switch version looked like smeared doo-doo sauce. What game was that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, there was. I think it's Forza. Is it? Let us know in the chat. Truckneck says, "Why are you bringing up Xbox?" Yeah, I'm bringing up Xbox because I know your leanings. I know where you're arguing from, and I know that you're not arguing in good faith, because you would never say that about an Xbox game. You would never say that about Gears. Like what you just described is Gears. Like the last 3 Gears is essentially that. And you would never say that about Gears. The last 3 Gears is essentially that. Minimalistic. Let's read that again. You could take out Ghost to Yotei and just say Gears of War looks like a standalone expansion. Minimum upgrades across the board with an overdone generic revenge story. And you would never say that about Gears. Never. So that's why I brought it up, because I knew your own biases would shoot you yourself in the foot. That's all you got to do with you. But can I share something with you guys? Because I like a challenging debate. I like it. Corner Rock told me something years ago when I used to be an Xbot like you, Trucknet. He told me something years ago because he was so confident in that Xbox was a dog shit piece of trash. He said, you can never argue this up. You cannot put lipstick on a pig when it comes to Xbox as long as Phil Spencer is there, MM. He said, you're going to lose every time. He said, I don't care how good you're able to argue, you're going to lose every fucking time. You might have a moment in the sun, but you're going to lose every time. And I said, why you say that, P? And he said, because when it comes to you bots, all I gotta fucking do, and it's at the time, he's like, all I gotta do is watch mooch and crap. And all y'all do, because all y'all do is regurgitate talking points. Y'all go to your favorite Xbox site or Xbox podcast. You just listen to them in that silo. They cut out reality and just give you this vertical slice of shit that happened with Xbox that makes it sound good. All I gotta do is, that was Mooch and Crap at the time. And shout out to Mooch and Crap. He said, all I gotta do is listen to Mooch and Crap, and whoever I'm debating that week, because that's when we used to do weekly debates and shit like that. Whoever I'm debating that week, I already got you in the bag. All I gotta do, Trucknet, is listen to Boomstick and some of these other motherfuckers we're gonna show today. Watch their tweets. That's why I follow them. I don't follow them because they got good content. I follow them because I want to hear the dog dumb shit that they're gonna say that you guys are gonna think is great and pass along. Or y'all just, the shit that y'all just gonna dump on each other like the human centipede. That's all y'all do, is feed each other dog shit to your anal rectums. And y'all just gobble it up. That's all I gotta do is listen to these stupid podcasters, listen to these bonehead content creators, and I know the shit that y'all gonna regurgitate to each other. So my suggestion is, why y'all always get fucked up in the debate at some point in time is because y'all don't watch across the street. Across the street is always watching y'all. Y'all never watch across the street. Y'all stay listening to Boomstick or stay listening to that one, and then y'all put out some stupid ass talking point, and then when it gets slapped, y'all don't know what to do. Y'all go back and y'all start making up shit. That Hellblade 2 response was beneath you, Truckman. I was a little disappointed. I was egregiously disappointed with that. You could definitely do better than that dog shit. But okay, let's see what else we got here. Where's Corey at, bruh? Shout out, yeah, where's Corey at? Corey Massey ain't been here in a minute. Steve Fresh, he says check that truck that laugh out loud for sure. Yotei looked good to me. Not anything super crazy next level jump, but sure as hell didn't look bad. You know what? Let's do this out of order. Because I was going to talk about Xbox first, but let's talk about Yotei first. Because we already started the show with Yotei. I'll say this, y'all, and I like that comment because I'm gonna be honest with you. Aesthetically, I will say this. I think a lot of people, because I saw I saw some of the pushback. Trust me, most of the people out there on the internet loves Yotei. They're in love with this shit, right? But some of you were out there saying it looks meh or whatever. That's why we got the poll the way that it is. We asked you guys, did you think that the Yotei State of Play was awesome, pretty good, meh, or trash, right? The reason why we did that is because I heard some people say, man, And I think this poll represents the percentage of people that think it's meh. I think a lot of people thought either it was awesome or pretty good. And then there was like a small percentage of people said it was meh. Here's why I think you guys are saying that. Not only the haters are saying that it looks like the PlayStation 4 and all the other stuff. I will admit, does this look like the best graphically stunning game out there? No. Does it look bad? Absolutely not. Here's what I think a lot of people are doing that are being honest and just giving their honest impressions, but don't realize what's fueling their thoughts. I think a lot of you saw what's that game? Assassin's Creed, the last Assassin's Creed. You see similarities in that, and you're looking at this and you're like, well, aesthetically, this doesn't blow that away. Assassin's Creed, in a lot of ways, was visually impressive. Here's what I'll say about Yotei. Yotei is more impressive than Assassin's Creed. Definitely, Coldblood will tell you this, definitely in the character models. But some of the shit that they did with the art design, like when she's running through the bed of flowers and it's like that autumnish look with that shit looks fucking awesome. The combat aesthetics look awesome, right? So I would say there's a lot of similarities, but Ghost of Yotei definitely is superior looking. Just shout out to Assassin's Creed for it looking very good as well. I think a lot of people are making that comparison. Were you about to say something, Coldblood?
No,
okay.
You're saying exactly what I would have said.
Yep. It's superior in every way. And Assassin's Creed, look, don't get me wrong, look good, but the character model, like Coldblood nailed that right in the coffin, right on the nail, right on the head. Character models, they look like they're from PlayStation 4 on Assassin's Creed. But it looks just a lot of good looking technology, and I think you guys are making comparisons there. If you were to pull up Ghost of Tsushima and pull this up, you can see the differences. Especially, have you guys watched this video in 4K? Like, maybe it's because I got to watch the video in 4K. Maybe a lot of you didn't. Like, come on, stop it. Okay. I think that's what happened. We had two games set in around the same era with a lot of similarities that people are comparing to each other, and they're like, oh, it's not that impressive. And then people are seriously reaching and comparing it to the PlayStation 4 version. Absolutely not. Stop that. That's what I think is going on. But if you really pay close attention and watch in 4K, and you want to watch in 4K because there is video compression, but to get a closer aspect of what you're going to get in game without the fucking video compression, you're going to want to watch the 4K version. And you'll see, oh shit, when I get these actual, and can you imagine, I'm going to have to probably change my pantaloons several times while playing this game on my Pro. Okay, like, yeah. So we need to kill that. But yeah, I get to where it's not Death Stranding 2 visually. I understand that, and I understand where it is, above Assassin's Creed Shadows. But a lot of people are like, oh no, they don't look like two totally different games. Assassin's Creed Shadows has some impressive stuff going on. I think everything in Yotei is just as good, if not better, in some significant ways, but it is what it is. So that's what I think a lot of people is judging this on. One thing that is not deniable, Coldblood. One thing that's not deniable, and again, this didn't look and it didn't feel so bad in Shadows. But just by looking at Yotei, and if you played, and I only got like 7 hours plus probably in the first game, but it's undeniable that the gameplay in the Ghost games far exceeds Assassin's Shadows. And that's nothing against Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's just, it is what it is. And this time around, even with my limited gameplay in it, Cold Blood, I feel like there's more gameplay wise that's going to be engaging. And I was surely like, the thing that threw me over the top in saying, okay, PlayStation just can't be fucked with. I went from hating them to saying, okay, they're on a different level. This goes to Yotei. It was a trifecta. It was God of War, Last of Us 2, and then when I played Ghost of Yotei, I didn't expect to like that at all. And then that 7+ hours that I played the game, I was mind fucked. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So, but yeah.
Just a correction. Wait, one correction. You played Tsushima, not Yotei.
Oh yeah. My bad. Yeah, Tsushima. Thank you for correcting.
Before someone thinks you got a preview.
Yeah. No, yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's a very important correction. Yeah. No, so, yeah. Chief Fresh 2080s. Yeah, traversal combat and traversal will be much better in Ghost of Yotei than Shadow. Absolutely.
You know what truck that is missing in Yotei?
What's that?
A shotgun and a fucking RPG.
Yeah, a jetpack and shit. You want a jetpack? You want a fucking jetpack in Yotei? Sorry. Yeah, he was a jetpack in Yotei. Sorry, Trucknet. Like, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, or I don't want to sound like that now I'm trying to make it seem uncool when I love this shit. Don't get me wrong, I love sci-fi shooters. But shit can get overrun and can get worn out, right? And so sci-fi shooters kind of, you can, that's why people are switching up to more traditional single player experiences. And now, a lot of people are arguing that Souls-like games or parrying and stuff is it can, even if it's good, it can, too much of a good thing can wear on somebody. But here's my thing about Xbox. They wear out shit and it's not even good. It's not even fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like all the shooting and shit, it's not even good anymore. So I don't know. You like, look, man, I'm telling people, this is not no hater shit. This is if you're a gamer. Look, the console war is over for one. We got placed, and we could talk about this too, Cold Blood, because we never really, outside of the last show that we had, we never really talked about this long term. PlayStation games are coming to, I don't want to say Xbox, because I feel like that's smoke and mirrors. Like I think more games are coming to the Xbox Series, absolutely, because Hiroki Totoki is a dumb fuck. But I think the majority of the games that you're going to see in the Microsoft store is coming to the Windows device. I think what's happened is they sat and had conversations, and Microsoft is like, look, we're not even trying to battle the console space. We absolutely are going to make a console-like PC that people can put at their desk, but the console consumer is different from the PC consumer. And we have PlayStation, foolishly in my opinion, on the record saying that they don't feel like the PC community competes with them. And so I think someone like a Hiroki Totoki, who is unseasoned in the culture of gaming and just doesn't get it in a lot of ways, I think he probably said, okay, well, if you guys are sitting there transitioning from having a closed box software dedicated, your own, proprietary software dedicated console, to like this PC strategy, maybe we can be friends. And maybe what we can do is this is the beginning of our transition to, instead of just putting our games on Steam, we can put our games in the Windows Store too. Let's hedge our bets. And that's what I feel like there's a partnership as when it comes to that. So, and I don't like that at all. I think it's a stupid move and all that other stuff. That being said, the difference between the two, despite the dumb leadership moves, is the competency of the studios at PlayStation. Like, as long as what's the name doesn't fuck that up too much with his financial decisions, which I think there will be some pain there because he's talking about spending less money there. You're going to see a level of quality.
Right. Moss. Oh my God. Well, when I heard doing more with less, I immediately got a picture of fucking Satya, bro.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
He is talking like fucking Satya. And I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
So maybe it's gonna be the fucking death of most high budget games.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get one per fucking generation where they really just went crazy, like 300, 400 million. And the rest of them are just fucking barely AAA games, like maybe 100 mil at max.
Yep. And look, I'm for it if you can find a way to create badass quality, still great artistic vision, and you find like a new engine or something like that requires less hands on it. I'm all for it. But you know what's going to happen. It's AI. Like, we had Mag on here a couple months ago. They're going to do AI and other dumb shit. The only difference is it could fuck up Xbox, and Satya will just say, well, let's get rid of Xbox. You know, he'll just close it or whatever, right? Or move away from it or sell it off to get all that money back that they spent in acquisitions. PlayStation, if this starts fucking with them and starts failing, they're getting rid of people and they're going back to what they know works. That's the only, because Microsoft does not live off of Xbox. Sony lives off of PlayStation. Sony can't afford for this to fuck up. Sony's in a panic mode because of margins and the cost to produce hardware. Particularly, they can't really fluctuate too much and see margins that they want to see. Cost of games have gone up, so they're in a panic mode. And so the CFOs come out and said, I can fix this, and they're riding with him to see what he can do. When they start seeing that trend going down because he does too much stupid shit, they'll fucking toss him like a sack of potatoes. You know what I mean? But the console war is over, y'all. Microsoft and PlayStation are going to work together where Microsoft will just be more PC revenue to Sony. That's the way they'll look at it. I'm sorry, a lot of you Xbots that are sitting here talking shit. Oh yeah, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's still an Xbox. That's bullshit. Why? Because you're getting a better deal from having a PC now anyway. If you guys were smart, see, that's why, even though I don't agree with him, I know he's a real gamer. I just don't agree with his takes and shit. And a lot of you aren't real gamers. Look at what Doc Dark did. Doc Dark said, hey, look, I am a true fan of the Xbox business model, but I realize if I engage with Xbox through the console, I'm just bending over and grabbing my ankles with no Vaseline. I might as well go to PC. Now, he didn't have the greatest PC at first, but he had to go through trial and error. From what I heard, he's got a better PC. I've been wrapped to my bro in a little bit. That's what you do if you truly are about Xbox all like that. If you really are about Xbox all like that, you motherfuckers would have been gotten rid of your consoles and got a fucking PC. There is nothing having a console is going to do for you better than having a PC. You get Game Pass games cheaper on PC than you do console. Game Pass, yeah, your Game Pass is cheap. You get games in general cheaper on PC than you do on console. You get more games on PC more than you do on an Xbox console. If you're into the cloud, there's shit that you can augment their cloud service with on PC that you can't really do as well on console. Every which way, Microsoft has done everything to make you get off the console besides say, get the fuck out of my car. Everything. There is no reason for you to have a console, but yet you still have a console and you don't have a PC. Why is that? Because you're a console gamer. So for all you console gamers that are listening to this, that are still waving the flag, the green flag, the diarrhea shitty green flag for Xbox, and you don't have a gaming PC and you don't have a gaming rig, or you're like, fuck, I'm not gaming on the cloud via PC, fuck that shit's trash, and you're still waving the flag for Xbox, you are doing yourself such a disservice. My original message is the console war is over. Stop it. These two motherfuckers are in cahoots now and working in tandem. Xbox wants to dominate the PC space. They don't give a fuck about console anymore. PlayStation looks at the PC space as additive revenue. So they're working together now. All this arguing back and forth over who's better, it's like PlayStation's future business model being argued over what's Nvidia's future business model. It's not going to make any sense. There's still comparative stuff to talk about now, but what I'm trying to say to you is, if you're a console gamer, if you're an Xbox console gamer, nobody said that you can't keep your Xbox, but goddamn it, while the PlayStation was on sale for $379, you should have got you a PlayStation. You're missing out. Now, granted, will we see PlayStation games come to Xbox? Yeah, but the Helldivers 2 ain't the only one. The question is when and which ones. Because PlayStation doesn't value the Xbox console as additive revenue. This is just them kicking off a partnership. They see Xbox on Windows as additive content. You may never see Ghost of Yotei on an Xbox console. You may not see other hitters. Intergalactic, you may never see that on an Xbox console. But I do feel that you'll see it in the Windows Store. So if you are not on PC now, you're likely not going to get into it in the future. You're definitely not going to get into it for a $900 handheld or $1,000, 2026 Steam box. You're not going to do it then. You're a console gamer. So why not have a PlayStation? You could have got a PlayStation for $379. It could be enjoying Ghost of Yotei day one. Matter of fact, is that sale still going on, Cold Blood? I don't know. Let me see. PlayStation. That PlayStation bundle with Call of Duty, mind you.
Oh, you ask me, an European about that? I have no idea.
Oh, you can still get it off of PlayStation. It's not $379, it's $399. You can get the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition Call of Duty bundle, Black Ops 6 bundle slim for $399. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. You can still get it from Target. Target still has it. It's still available. What the fuck? They must have produced a lot. Oh, so now it's not letting me open it up? What the fuck is going on with my internet? Or my webpage?
Bro, of course they produced a lot because Trump said, you gotta get your shit straight. And then after that, everything from China, make it fucking expensive as hell.
Oh my fucking
so
God.
Of course they produced a lot.
Yeah, you can still get it. $374.99. Or you can, oh no, it's out of stock in Target. But you can still get it from PlayStation. Was it PlayStation? Oh no, you can. I'm looking at Walmart. You get it from Walmart. $3.99. Come on. You and still get your fucking. Well, you guys aren't getting it. It's a bunch of. You're not paying $900 for that. You're not. You want to know why I know you're not paying $900 for that? Because when this version of the Xbox fanboy cold blood was at its strongest was last generation. You guys are your most boisterous on Twitter, but men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. There were more Xbox gamers last gen. There are a lot of fanboys on, there's more fanboys and vocal fanboys on Twitter because a lot of the people that were PlayStation fanboys, and you know who they are, that they were PlayStation boys last gen, they said, oh, there's more ad revenue pretending like I love Xbox this generation, so let me go here and do that. And that's what a lot of you motherfuckers said. But men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. There are a lot more Xbox, particularly console gamers, last gen than there are this gen. And here's why I say you're not paying $1,000, or you're not gonna. A lot of you are not going to be paying that $900 for that handheld, because when Xbox dropped the world's most powerful console last gen, the Xbox One X, the expectations were that you guys were going to buy the shit out of that, and put Xbox back in the fight. What ended up happening, cold blood? The Xbox One X was the least selling console last generation. So if you guys weren't going to buy a $500 console that was the most powerful console out there, you're not buying a $900 handheld that's least powerful than your Xbox Series X. You're not doing it. You're not.
I mean, bro, when D-Batch was betting P-Rock that the One X gonna outsell the PlayStation,
yeah.
I was like, in what the fucking planet are you living on?
Well, I was on the same delusional planet as D. You know what I mean? But D, yeah. I blame D.
I know, but he bet P-Rock.
Yeah.
He literally bet money on this shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did too.
I was like,
I bet P-Rock was like, I don't want your money. He said, I just want you to learn the lesson. Remember he said that? I don't want your money. It was more. He said it was more for him for me to learn the lesson, because he realized that I was arguing for something I didn't understand. He said he's like, I knew you did not understand the dynamic of what Phil Spencer was going to do. You're thinking it's still the 360 people, and you don't know nothing about Phil in this new group. So he's like, keep your fucking money. I want your money.
No, bro. I just knew when I heard $500 again for this console. Mm-hmm. Nah, buddy, ain't nobody buying that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Besides the absolute hardcore of the hardcore, bro.
Yeah,
ain't nobody buying that shit.
Yep.
And look what happened, bro. MPD came and went, and Xbox is still a fucking trash ass console to this day.
Yep. Let me just pause real quick and just say thank you guys. We got 42 people watching. Thank you so much. We really appreciate this. Do us a huge favor. Hit that like button. Hit the fucking dislike button. You know what I'm saying? The engagement means that's the most you can do. If you got something that you want to say and you want to break into us while me and Cold Blood are going back and forth, hit that super chat button. We'll stop what we're doing. I'm going to what you got to say. Members for membership. Content is starting back next week. What happened was my punk ass Motorola flip. Do not get the Motorola Razr. It's dog shit. Let me tell you what these motherfuckers did real quick. Just real quick, and we're gonna get back to the topic. I got the Motorola Razr, and I opened it. It's the one that folds, right? And I opened it up while I was at work, and the motherfucking screen just popped. It's a pop, just like that. And people were on the elevator with me. They're like, "Oh, what the hell happened?" And so I sent it back to Motorola for them to fix it. And I'm like, the screen popped. They said, oh, okay. They sent me an email a couple days ago and they said, oh, we can't fix this unless you send us another $600 because we noticed a chip on the bottom of the phone. I don't give a fuck about that chip. That chip did not break my thing. So I had to go get me a secondary phone, which I didn't have. And I had to set up the secondary phone in order for me to record and do the members content like I've been doing. So I got that all fixed. We're going to be back to doing members content on Monday. I apologize for that. But if you want to get members content, and access to stuff early, definitely, consider becoming a member at the Foamy Homie level. This just $3.99. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But again, at the very least, hit that like button or even fucking hit the dislike button. I don't give a fuck. The engagement all together. Keep us from being shadow banned. We got haters in the background, Cold Blood. We got haters that go, oh my God,
bro,
he doesn't like Xbox.
It's Trucknet and his 15 fake accounts, bro. Reporting us.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so... yeah, just do us a huge favor. You can, like I said, if you want the extra content or if you got something to say you want to interrupt the conversation, hit the super chat button or become a member. But definitely hit that like or that dislike button. That don't cost you a thing. Doesn't matter if Xbox games are exclusive because all their games have been trashed since 2011. I mean, what do you want me to do, Corey? I mean, not Corey. I'm sorry, Andrew. You want me to argue with that? How am I going to argue that water is wet? You know, I can't argue against water being wet. Yes, absolutely. Xbox games have been trash. They've been trash since Phil took over. What do you guys want me to do? And then before Phil took over, guess what Phil was in charge of? He was in charge of Worldwide Studios. What do you want me to do, man? You know what I'm saying? What do you want me to do? I'm pinned up against a fucking wall here. You know what I mean? Trucknet says, Phil Bosch, how much did G7 improve over GT Sport? Stop it, racers or different? I don't even know. I don't know what Trucknet is trying in the chat there.
Oh yeah, let's talk for a second about Forza Motorsport.
Okay, what's going on there?
What happened to the studio? The best studio Xbox ever produced, Turn 10. What happened to them?
Yeah, I think
since Trucknet since Trucknet tries to say something about GT7, what happened to the best studio from Xbox? Well,
I don't know what comparatively people have to say about Xbox versus PlayStation anymore. That conversation should be over. If you want to rate the two as far as their business models, okay. Even though I don't really well, yeah, I kind of care about the business models because if I like something, I want to know that it's going to continue, or the quote unquote sustainability argument that there was about Game Pass. We'll get into that a little bit because that was a funny. Just watching how dumb people are and watching how they were engaging with that was hilarious. But pretty much.
Bro, wait. Give me a second. Trucknet, you understand that Bungie was never a good studio under Sony. But you had the best fucking studio that you ever produced, Turn 10, being cut by 50%, brother.
Yeah.
By 50%. That is insane. Yeah. Imagine Naughty Dog being cut by 50%. The fucking PlayStation community would be in a fucking uproar right now.
Yep.
And you motherfuckers just ignore this shit and always say, what about Fire Sprite? Like, who the fuck gives a shit about Fire Sprite?
Yeah, like who? Charlie Babbitt, the Charlie Babbitt studio. Who? What the fuck is them? Truck man, go have some coffee, man. You're not on your A game today, man. I've been away for a while, but looking for a good debate. I think you guys are so inflated internally. You're just throwing shit up there, just like if I'm gonna die swinging, everybody dies. That's what you guys are doing. Fire Sprite and Bungie, you're trying to that is comparatively equal to Xbox killing Turn 10 or slashing them in half, not killing them. It's not the same, brother. That's one game. How did Forza Motorsport do? That's one game. That's like saying, all right, because when Death Stranding first launched, it didn't do the greatest, right? It didn't do the greatest.
It still sold millions. So, what do you expect from a new IP?
Yeah. So why, okay, you got one that didn't do well. Here, let's step away for a second. Let's step away from a second. You guys are essentially trying to praise a studio that acquired, a company that acquires studios, right? And just destroying studios that were making beloved IP at an alarming rate. Destroying studios that were making beloved IP at an alarming rate. You want to compare that to Fire Sprite and Bungie, where Destiny 2 was on a downward traversal? The fucking people that were in charge admitted that they overhyped their worth and what their capabilities were to Sony so they could get purchased. So they admitted that they worked to bamboozle Sony just so they can get saved. That's how horrible of a state they were in. Guys you're praising that. Or you're trying to bypass that and then comparatively knock it against PlayStation. You're, for argument's sake, giving Xbox a pass as they gut and destroy the gaming community, or the gaming community. It's like I said, that's why I don't like these absorptions.
Bro, let's be honest here for a second. If Bungie was still an indie studio right now, they'd be in so much fucking trouble right now. Like, there would be no safety net whatsoever for them. So we can say Sony actually saved their ass.
He said Firewalk Studios. What did Firewalk Studios do, Trucknet? What beloved title did they put out there? Did you like playing the Raining Men characters in Concord? It's raining men. Is that what you liked? You dress up like the weather girls. What did they do? You're naming names, but tell me what they put out there that was so beloved. What did they put out there that was so beloved? Beloved. What did they put out there that was so beloved? Microsoft cut the Call of Duty studios, for crying out loud. Nobody's safe from their destructive tendencies, and you just want to look over that. Microsoft is an albatross to gaming. And you guys want to, You'll be the first to sit there and argue, yeah, money hat, right? Like a studio, like a platform funding a company to help them put a game out there to the community is horrible, but absorbing a studio, then getting rid of them because their game didn't sell well, even though you're putting it in Game Pass day and date, is good. What type of welfare gaming is that? Okay, so what did Japan Studio put out there that you found was so beloved? You Trucknet. What did Japan Studio put out there that you figured was so beloved? That was a staple to PlayStation. Oh, so Last Guardian, Gravity Rush, Shadow of Colossus, and Bloodborne is a staple to PlayStation? It was a staple to PlayStation. Those games are currently beloved. Turn 10 now, again, you got to understand how comparative argumentation works. You can't go into the weeds over here. You can't just throw out names. Last Guardian, Gravity Rush, Shadow of Colossus are beloved games that are being played right now. Right? That's what you're telling me, correct? We're not talking about studios that have, like, for instance, let me give you another example. Rare is working on Sea of Thieves. Now, I might think Sea of Thieves is dog shit, but it just got re-released on PlayStation, and it's seeing significant numbers. Rare, who not only has a deep history, right, as you're halfway arguing, not only do they have a deep history, but they just put out a game on another platform that did a shit ton of numbers. And they still got gutted 50%. That's what we're talking about. We're not just talking about any Joe Blow studio that ain't had an effort since 1919 getting cut. We're talking about studios that are currently working on or making the best engaged games for Xbox, still getting gutted by 50% or getting closed. Nothing you named is compared to that. What did they make currently that is on the same level of Turn 10 making Motorsport?
Well, he ain't answering that.
Exactly. He can't.
He's just gonna keep on listing some fucking games nobody gives a shit about anymore.
Yeah, he can't. He could. You know why, Cold Blood? Because all he has is the Xbot Twitter list that was out there that he got in his bookmarks on Twitter, and he's just running through. Now he's got to go look up the games, and now that he's looking up the games, he's like, "Oh fuck! I just caught another L." It's not comparative argument. It's not a comparative argument. You're naming studios that have not made a game of any current value whatsoever. Now, am I saying who cares if no, I'm not saying who cares if studios get closed down, but what's happening at Microsoft is unprecedented. It's even worse than Embracer, and Embracer is horrible. Concord was a $400 million investment before Sony bought them. You do understand how that $400 million was obtained and how that had nothing to do with PlayStation. That $400 million was obtained by external investments before PlayStation even bought them. PlayStation has nothing to do with that $400 million. Again, you're listening to these dumb Xbox podcasts that don't know anything. They collected $400 million. Say, for instance, Cold Blood got a lemonade stand. No, I have a lemonade stand. Cold Blood says, "Hey, look, I want to buy your lemonade stand." because my lemonade stand ain't doing so great. But let's just say over the course of time, before Cold Blood went to go buy my lemonade stand, I invested, I probably invested thousands in this thing, right? Thousands into it. I got people to, to give me money or whatever. They've invested money in this, and the money, and because my lemonade stand has been so poor, it's just not of any value. If Cold Blood walks up to me and is like, "Hey Moss, you got to cut your losses. Here, I'll give you $100 for it." Okay, cool. Because Cold Blood absorbed me when my value was low. He's not responsible for the thousands of dollars that I invested in it. That was under my ownership, and that value depreciated after the investment. Don't y'all know how the stock market works? Just because you invested, you paid $100 for a stock. If the stock depreciates, you don't get that $100 back. So just because they got $400 million in investments from people that were betting that this studio would do better, and the studio wasn't doing better, and continued to depreciate over time, PlayStation didn't buy them for $400 million. That's stupid. They saw a game that was out there that they thought could do something. They invested a whole bunch of money into it, and the investment depreciated. No, the lemonade stand doesn't. Trucknet, that just proves you don't have an acumen when it comes to an investment. We see it every day. A company, what was the name of that store, dude? There's a Netflix special out there right now about, what was it, American Journal or something like that. It was a clothing store where the motherfuckers. It was I forgot the name of that fucking clothing store. Go watch this on Netflix right now. The dude, he was killing it, but he just kept randomly spending money and doing bad. He got a whole bunch of investments, right? Had a board and everything, got a whole bunch of investments and just kept blowing through money. And then essentially they kicked the dude out because he had all types of crazy allegations. I can't say here because I don't want content to get shadow banned. But he had a whole bunch of allegations, and then the stock dropped. Once the stock dropped, and then I think the company was sold somewhere else, the people that buy the company, they are not, it's called an investment. When you make an investment somewhere, you're making a bet. Just like you make an investment when you buy a stock. If my investment depreciates, I'm not still owed the initial commercial value of my original investment. I made a bet, and the value of my bet depreciated. That's investment 101. No, they're not liable for what was it originally investment. That's stupid, Truck. Now you know better than that. Why are you arguing? Bro, did you have breakfast today? Like, come on. What are you talking about? You're smarter than this, and I'm not trying to be facetious. When someone makes an investment, the company has to do more for you to get more of that back. I'm sorry, go ahead, Cold Blood.
He asked what studio's Xbox closed this gen. Did you not read the news last week?
Oh my fucking bro. Bro. Yeah, you ain't had your breakfast, man. I'm gonna leave you. This ain't fun. This ain't fun. Something's going on. You're not having a good morning. Maybe you got into it with the better half, and you guys, your mind's on that. Your mind's not clear today, bro. Come back when your mind is clear. But anyway, one of the most egregious things that I'm thinking about is what happened to the studio behind Hi-Fi Rush. What happened to Tango Works is a clear example on why Microsoft this current Microsoft is detrimental to the state of gaming. And
no, wait, Moss, talk about the initiative. Oh
my God. So
don't talk about Tango, bro. Like Tango, yeah, they made a fucking Hi-Fi Rush, and apparently it did great by Aaron Greenberg standards, but not Phil Spencer's, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, bro, talk about the initiative. Because the quadruple A studio getting close before they even release a game. You cannot make this shit up, bro. Like this is as bad as it gets. You literally make a fucking studio, make it work for 7 years, just to say we close you, motherfuckers. While also getting help from fucking Crystal Dynamics, a whole ass AAA studio.
All that money. See, all these studios that you named earlier, Trucknet, we don't even know if they were working on anything. And if they were working on something, we don't know how much money was invested. The initiative, listen to the fucking name. The initiative was supposed to be Microsoft's Naughty Dog. We're making a studio. Just go back to when they were rolled out. That was supposed to be Microsoft's Naughty Dog. The initiative was to bring quadruple A games to Xbox. All this money plugged in and invested into the studio. Them hiring Crystal Dynamics to work with Perfect Dark, only for us to get a fake trailer, which to me wasn't that impressive anyway. That money could have went to them. If you were gonna fuck that up, that money could have went to you money hatting and investing in a decent game. I would have preferred you do that.
Bro, they could have actually hired talent for Halo, bro. And not some contractors that got booted out after 3 months.
Exactly. And yeah, you're making Trucknet. You're not. Bro, go take 5, Trucknet. I really want. I love the engagement, and I'm not being facetious. Did you have your cereal this morning? What do you normally have? Whatever your normal daily routine is. It's clear you didn't have it, or maybe something's going on. Take 5, bro. Relax, because you're not arguing in your own favor. You just said the initiative made. What did you say? The initiative lost a ton of money. That's the point. They invested money that could have went elsewhere. The people like myself, Coldblood's never been in this arena because he's always thought Xbox was dog shit. But the people like us that was like, look, we just want Xbox to go back to its better form. You were best when you were money hatting. That's how we got games like BioShock, Jade Empire, all these games that are the Knights of the Old Republic. You are not great at first-party games. Yes, Halo was fantastic, but Halo, the concept of Halo was put together before you ever absorbed Bungie. You came across it, you saw it, you said, look, we want to make sure that you keep pumping that out for us and us only, so that's why they were absorbed. And y'all pretty much let Bungie do what the fuck they wanted to do until they wanted to do something besides Halo. That's the only time you stepped in. That being said, Xbox was never great with their own studios. That wasn't their thing. Their thing was money hatting. Them taking their Microsoft money, giving it to competent studios, and the combination of the two, putting great products out there. That's the point we're trying to make. You went and spent all this fucking money to do something you're not designed to do in the initiative, which is try to create your own Naughty Dog. That was fucking pointless. You wasted billions upon billions likely, and because you've wasted all this money, now you want to close down the studio and it's having a ripple effect in everything else that you do. When you could have taken those billions, approached an EA or approached to somebody, put out another great game with the Microsoft treasure chest, and then we could be having different conversations. I think Microsoft, look, I said it last gen as I was converting away from Microsoft. Shout out to Lady Gamer 1980 becoming a foamed up member. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I said it last gen. We didn't need Microsoft to buy a whole bunch of studios. We just needed Microsoft to invest in games. It was Satya Nadella who said, No, I want to own this content. Why did I know that was the problem? Number one, I knew that Microsoft did not have a history in managing studios all like that. What made them great was collaboration. Two, I even knew Microsoft wasn't good at that when they had the best execs, when they had Seamus, when they had Peter Moore, when they've had Alan, when they had those people, they weren't the best at managing studios. Now they have less competent people. I knew this was going to happen. You're going to have more studios under your helm with less competent people. Guess what the fuck is going to happen? Now, it would be one thing if Microsoft just made from the ground up a bunch of studios like the initiative and it failed. It would have been a waste of money, but it wouldn't have been so egregious. No, Microsoft went to already multi-platform established IP and companies, absorbed them, and they're now gutting them. They are essentially eradicating the business. And like I've told you guys before, because the whole sector overcompensated during the pandemic and hired people because they were stupid and they thought people weren't going to go back outside as soon as they could. Everybody was going to play video games forever and ever and ever. They overhired and they had to compensate for that. Microsoft not only is doing that, that's why they're having more layoffs than everybody else. They're doing that in the sector they are, but they're doing that and they're gutting companies that they've acquired. These people will never find, this talent will never find work in video games again. Never. By the time the community or the gaming sector does need more people, if it ever does, it'll be beyond their lifetime, or they would have had to go somewhere else. Why do I say that? Because these people went to school for this. They have student loans they have to pay. Loans in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Student loans makes people homeless. Let's talk about the realities of this shit. Student loans can make people motherfuckers homeless. Why? Because if you don't pay your student loans, because a lot of it is associated to government funding, they're allowed to attach your wages. They're allowed to go after you. So if you go work somewhere, they're allowed to say, give me 40% of your pay. If you can't keep up with your student loans, now you don't have enough money to live anywhere. Now you're homeless. See it all the time. So it's like, fuck, I don't have enough. You're taking 40% of my income. I don't have enough money to live anywhere. Why the fuck work? You know what I'm saying? Why work to make money? Why can't I can't even live anywhere? That's why you work. First to find room, food, and shelter. Then to see what you can add to that. You can't even get the room and shelter. What's the fucking point? Right? So a lot of these people have student loans. They can't continue to work and wait for income to come. Once their unemployment or their severance is up, they got to find work somewhere. So guess what they do? They go to a different industry and they say, I can't come back there. It's too volatile. And these people never enter the industry ever again. We lose valuable talent that never re-enters the industry ever again. And Microsoft is adding to that dynamic, and they're about to make it worse by integrating AI. Now, again, Mag was here and he talked about it. A lot of these AI positions are going to take out fluff. But Microsoft is going to go further. They're going to have AI writing stories and scripts and creating games and shit like that. It's going to be absolute trash. And they're going to gut industry veterans that are making Call of Duty and making these other games. The ESO game. They said fucking Phil was creamed his pants when he played it. It was the best reviewed Xbox game people had seen in a while. They got rid of it. Who does that? They got rid of it and gutted the company. Or did they get rid of them? Did they get rid of the people at ESO? Cold Blood? I think they did. Not or that wing of ESO.
No, from ZeniMax.
From ZeniMax, yeah. Fuck that. Again, you got to get your breakfast, bro. Now I want to show you this statement. This is just you swinging in the air. Let me show you this statement. Sony closed 6 studios this gen and canceled 13 games. Sony fired tons of devs, fired their CEO, fired their entire game management team, studio heads, etc. You guys focus squarely on Xbox. Okay, so let's dissect this. And this is why I said you got to get your breakfast. This is you don't argue this low. Am I imagining something? Am I confusing with you with somebody else? I could have sworn that your argumentation was better than this. Let's tackle the first part. Sony closed 6 studios this gen. Okay, what did the 6 studios make that was groundbreaking or on the level of turn 10 that the Cinemax studio, like you're making, this is comparative babble. It's not on the level. Again, I don't want to use the word dead weight because, again, I at this point, when the industry loses talent, it's never the greatest thing, but they're not comparatively equal at all. What did these 6 studios make that was so phenomenal? I don't like devs losing their jobs, but what did they make? Sony fired devs, and a lot of Sony's firing was based upon them. Look at how many people they hired versus how many people they fired. When you actually look at it, at Sony, they still retain just a margin higher. A margin higher people that they've hired. There's still more Sony PlayStation devs than there were before the pandemic. They just overhired during the pandemic. Now, I'm not saying, now again, if Sony goes through, I don't know if Sony's going to go through more massive cuts. If they do go through more massive cuts, that number may actually end up lower. But they overhired for the pandemic. I'm not talking about the pandemic overhiring. I am look at Microsoft. The studio numbers that Microsoft absorbed they're significantly lower even before the pandemic. The only other company that has that same problem is Embracer. And we've talked about Embracer. But at least Embracer sold off a lot of its property after doing so. So those companies are in a lot better state. So this is a readjustment for the overhiring. Their levels are still marginally higher than what they were before the pandemic. Sony, okay, they fired their CEO. We don't know if Jim Ryan was fired, if he left, if it was mutual. We don't know what the state of that was. Oh, we don't know what. You're talking about Jim Ryan or the head. We don't know who got fired, who definitively got fired. And a CEO getting fired is not the. Again, you're conflating stuff that doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck if a CEO that's making a whole bunch of fucking money gets fired. I'm talking about the talent. Who cares if a CEO? Fuck, Satya Nadella and Phil Spencer need to be fired. We'd be dancing in the streets. I might consider getting an Xbox again if they got fired. Fuck if a CEO gets fired. They're not the talent. They're the devs. Hiroki Totoki needs to be fired. What are you talking about? Again, you're just throwing out comparative babble. Fired their CEO, fired their entire game management team. What game management team are you talking about? Is he talking about the Donna, what's it called, was talking about? You're talking about the producers? Are you talking about what's his name? David Jaffe was talking about the producers? They replaced the producers. I will agree that replacing the producers was more of a quality thing. It isn't a loss of talent. They replaced the producers. He said, I don't like these game producers for where we're going. We're going to get another set of game producers. So that's an even swap, brother. If that's what you're talking about. Again, doesn't apply here. What's your strongest argument point? Because I didn't agree with that. I felt like the producers they had before were more quality game producers. But I'm talking about a loss of talent numerically. That's not a loss of talent numerically. They went to other producers and said, we want you on board instead of them. That's a net zero loss. And so you guys focus squarely on Xbox. Here's the kicker. We're focused squarely on Xbox because Xbox puts the industry at a negative loss. The only other group that did that was Embracer. Everybody else just released people at the levels that they were before the pandemic. They overhired because of the pandemic. They're back at their levels. Sony in particular is still slightly higher than they were before the pandemic. You look at all the companies that Microsoft has absorbed, they are at a net negative that they were before the pandemic. Stop it. Stop. It's comparative babble. This is where you don't know your information. ABK overhired too. Yes, they did. But it was broadly reported that Microsoft was the company. There were two companies. What's his name? Stephen Totilo reported on this. This is why I said you can't watch these stupid Xbox podcasts because they're only giving you a vertical slice of what feeds their agenda. There were two companies that were going to buy ABK. One was going to pretty much keep ABK intact. Another company was going to gut ABK. Microsoft was the company that was reported before the purchase that normally was going to gut ABK, but they offered more money. That's why they took the original, the legacy people of ABK took their money and said, go do what the fuck you want to do with them. They're yours now because they offered more money and they normally were going to gut them. So it isn't all about the Microsoft synergies were not all about the pandemic. They were at a net negative the last round of layoffs. They were at a net negative then. So they were at a net negative. What was that, earlier this year or sometime last year? They were at a net negative then. They are way below the net negative now. See, that's what happens when you only listen to the Xbox podcast and you try to formulate your argumentation around that. Trucknet, and we're gonna move on. So do you see how contradictory this is? You said ABK overhired, right? They overhired. That's your first argumentation. But then as soon as now you're trying to argue, but they had redundancies. Okay, of course. That's the problem with Microsoft absorbing ABK. That's why we're not about the absorption of these companies, because it automatically creates redundancies. But Microsoft has gone beyond the redundancies. They were already at a net negative. That their last round of layoffs, Net was supposed to take care of the redundancies. That's what set them at a net negative. So they're beyond that. These are beyond the net negative because they said themselves, quote, well, let me not say quote because I don't know word for word, but this puts us in a better place for their new planning. So after they took care of the redundancies, they looked at their plan again and said, we got to cut more. And I think it's the Seattle Tribune is alleging that they're doing this because now they've decided that they want AI to have even a bigger role in what they do. This is a net negative on top of a net negative. I know. But what I want to do, Darth Seth 24, we're going to move on. The reason why I'm making these arguments is because I want people that are watching this to understand that this is how you if you're old enough to remember, and then we're going to move on. I'm a product of the 80s, right? And there used to be this old commercial. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions where they had the frying pan, then you crack the egg over the frying pan while it's hot, and then this is your brain on drugs. Any question? This is your brain. This is your brain listening to Xbox podcasts. Any questions? This is what happens.
Most. We didn't even mention that motorsport is now no longer a thing, right? Like,
yeah, that is
it
right. I
doesn't
forgot about
exist.
that.
Now it's only Horizon, nothing else.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Bro, they got it so much, they literally got a whole IP destroyed with that.
That's crazy.
No, you can't even say, oh, we have our own GT. You don't have that.
And this is why, again, I don't want to take anything from Boom's prediction about Helldivers 2. He gets credit for that. But people are like, see, now Boom has redeemed himself. Hell, no. Boom threw out a whole bunch of crazy kooky shit and wanted and to see what sticks, and he happened to just argue one that came to fruition. One of the things that he argued was that GT7 would be put out of business by motorsport. And the opposite happened. This is your brain. This is your brain listening to Xbox podcasts. Any questions? Let me see if I can find that commercial.
Bro, now we need Frosk in here, bro. Like, tell us how
oh my God. Well, we found the new Frost. Let me play her for you. Let me play.
I know who you mean. Yeah. I know who you mean.
We got a new Frost. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna. Okay, so let's do this real quick. I'm gonna play the commercial. I'm gonna play the commercial, and then we're gonna check out New Frost. All right, so here it goes, and it's kind of, it's old school. It's from the fucking 80s. Hold on, what the hell? Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, here goes the commercial. I don't want to play the audio because no. I think I can play the audio. They ain't gonna do nothing. Hold on. All right, let me pause the music. Let me pause the music and then let me. All right. So, and let me put up where's voice meter. Okay, I think it's B1. Let's play it again. Let's make sure that you guys can hear that. Okay, yep. Okay, all right. So we're gonna play the commercial. Here it goes. Old 80s commercial. Anti-drug commercial. Listen, here it goes.
Okay, last time. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Let's do it one more time, y'all. let's do the remix. Let's do the remix of this commercial. All right, you ready? Here we go. All right, guys, one last time. This is your brain. This is your brain on Xbox podcasts. Any questions? Bro, Right there, you guys got to stop. You got to stop listening to these Xbox podcasts. They are not doing you any justice. Like I said, and I understand where Porter Rock was coming from, and I don't blame him for saying, look, I'm gonna give this dude his flowers. He made this prediction, and he's calling it. And PlayStation can only blame themselves for doing something stupid like that to give him such credibility. But that's just on that prediction. Forza Motorsport was supposed to put GT7 out of business. Just remember that. Okay? That's your brain. That's your brain on Xbox Podcasts. Any questions? All right. Well, we got something even more special for you, Cold Blood. Did you know that Frosk has been reincarnated? And she now runs an Xbox podcast? Did you know that?
Well, I saw one clip and that was enough because that felt like nails on a fucking chalkboard, bro.
We're going to play this for y'all. Let's talk about this.
Yo, my God, this is insanity.
It's purebred insanity. I don't know if this is the right clip, but let me see. This might not be the right clip. Hold on. Let's play it. Let's listen.
Goes to Yotei looks like dog shit. Yes. It looks like it was born out of a PlayStation 3's asshole and glued together and then put onto a PlayStation 4, and then they stamped that shit with the PlayStation 5 logo. Goes to Yotei looks like.
Okay, that's not Frost. We're gonna find Frost.
Is that the Sea Dog money or whatever?
That's Sea Dog money. Yeah.
God damn, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He sounds so fucking salty.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Oh, here it goes. Here goes the clip. Here goes the clip. And at this point in time, like, if you laugh at this shit and that's why you watch it, that's different. But if you actually watch this shit and this is the podcast that you get your
flowers in there, you see the light.
You this is where you get the information from. You're fucked. Your brain is that skillet on that 80s commercial. Okay, so here goes Frost reincarnated. Listen.
You see the flowers in there, you see the lighting. I've seen there's better lighting, you see better flowers on freaking Fortnite. You do. And if you go and compare the two, you'll be like, oh crap, really? Okay, so for PlayStation to be known for these, single player cinematic experiences, and for them to come out here, this is embarrassing. I told you guys that Hellblade 2 was such an impactful game, and it would kind of like live on as the moment when Xbox.
Hold on, man. I had the father right there.
Hellblade 2 is gonna live on in what?
I'm gonna play it back. What the fuck? Yo. You gotta like chug down a whole pint of tequila before you do this show, man. You gotta get in a full character and shit. Slap your face in the mirror and shit. You gotta go into full clown mode before you do this shit. Bro, this is crazy. This is all performative arts. There's nothing podcast about it. This is all skit bait. That's, It ain't clickbait, skit bait. This is all skits. Let me play this back again. Let's go.
So for PlayStation to be known for these, single player cinematic experiences, and for them to come out here, this is embarrassing. I told you guys that Hellblade 2 was such an impactful game, and it would kind of like live on as the moment when Xbox came out here and said, we can do what PlayStation does and do it better and still be able to do what we are known for, right? They came out here to go and rule everything. That was a big deal. for PlayStation to still try to figure out how to make a gas game and drop the ball on what they are known for, they are done. They are cooked. Come on, man.
Hey, yo, did y'all see that pause? She like,
bro, I am speechless.
Hey, yo, she realized, oh shit, maybe I'm too high. Oh shit, this liquor's really hitting right now. What the fuck did I just say? Hold on, watch her face. Hold on, we're gonna do this again. Watch this again.
They are done. They are cooked.
Hey, look, you see her face like, oh shit, did I just say that? Hold on, we'll do just a little bit more, Cold Blood. Hold on, there's 30 seconds more. Hold on, let's hear it.
You should not be delivering a game that looks like you just switched up the protagonist and you handed off more of the same. And don't even get me started on that patronizing lo-fi freaking situation that they have going on with this game, because that is flat out ridiculous.
Did not get
Crazy.
dude.
So wait.
Yo,
Give me a damn second.
Mm-hmm.
So she is complaining about a game looking the same as the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Where is her recording that Gears 4, Gears 5, and every other Gears looks the fucking same?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Where is that video? I want to see it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Her complaining about Xbox not moving on from the whatever PS4 generation.
Mm-hmm.
Or for them, the 360 generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where is that video from her? Telling us, yeah, all those Xbox games, they are fucking the same trash. They did not move on whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna see those because that's not the narrative here.
Mm-hmm.
It is only applied to PlayStation. Always. It's always only applied to PlayStation. A sequel has to be completely groundbreaking, new, whatever. It can't be the same at all. Like, not even. It can't be even third person. It has to be first person with an AK in the fucking hand.
In a jetpack. Don't forget the jetpack.
Oh yeah, and the jetpack, of course, and fucking actual vehicles, bruh.
Yeah.
Have a fucking Toyota come around. Like, what are we doing here?
Bruh.
Woman, listen to yourself. You sound so fucking like you sound defeated. You just want to hit somebody. Doesn't it sound like that?
Yeah, yeah. Look at her face. That one spot where she said, "And they're cold," and she just looks around like,
that is literally Frost, the fucking sequel,
yeah,
right there.
It is. It is.
And thank you for saying that, because this cursed one is gonna bite you in the ass next year again, just like it did with Frost.
Look, I didn't like Toki's decision. We called it out. Cold Blood been calling out wormholes, and we feel like long term.
No, listen. Everything trucks that said about all these live service games and how Blue Point and Ben Studios got put onto them, bro. I literally told everybody that.
Yeah,
I was not happy with that at all. I did not cap for these motherfuckers and said, "Oh, that's okay. They tried."
Exactly.
Nah, fuck that. That was an absolute shit decision.
Yep.
But when we start talking about Xbox for a second, oh my god. Everything else is forgotten. Like, we never talked about nothing else but Xbox.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, we just didn't do 2 shows back to back. With me, you, and Juice. You weren't in the Discord. Like, we just we ain't spent the last week kicking Sony's ribs in. Yeah. Here's the thing, though, and this is not me trying to be a dickhead. This is just telling the truth. And I'm not saying that what PlayStation does is okay. Absolutely not. We kicked their ribs in all fucking last week. Here's the problem.
Actually,
go ahead.
Moss, wait. Actually, I want to see this woman. I don't even know her name. I don't even want to know her name. But I want to see her achievements in Hellblade.
Yeah.
Since Hellblade is the best fucking thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
I want to see those achievements. And if she did not beat this game, bro, oh, she is a fucking hypocrite. Like, holy shit, she is a hypocrite.
If she didn't beat the game, but you did on day one, oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't even give Hellblade a bad score like that, right? I gave it a 7, goddammit. But even I can say, hell no, this game is no evolution from the first one, besides the graphics.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to say, and again, not trying to be an asshole, but where we're at sonically and currently and objectively, because men lie, women lie, and numbers don't lie. Xbox and PlayStation's worst day is better than Xbox's best day. Even when they're at their worst, even when they're doing fucked up shit that you're like, oh no, down the road, that's going to be a problem. Their quality levels, their floor is so much higher than Xbox's ceiling. It's pathetic. And I tried Cold Blood. I sent out the tweet. I tried saying, look, despite all this shit that's happening with Xbox, like when that shit had broke with Xbox and them laying off people, I didn't say nothing that day. I was still talking shit on Sony. I was still talking shit on PlayStation. But and the point for me in this segment is, you got this dumb shit that, yes, Sony has decided to do, that people are trying to use like it validates Xbox. Absolutely not. Because guess what? PlayStation is still going to sell a shit ton of games. Ghost of Yotei is still going to do fantastic. They're still going to sell a shit ton of consoles. They're still going to sell more games that are made by Xbox than Xbox own store, including Windows. They're still going to dominate gaming. And Xbox is, with all of its money, with its big war chest, it's still going to struggle to try to find somewhere it can see success without the help of PlayStation. It's going to become a point. I'm sorry. It's going to become a point where Xbox is just going to say, fuck it. We have no alternative. We'll offer cloud, but what we're going to have to do is just stop this whole ecosystem thing and just publish games. And we'll put games on the Windows Store too, because I don't see the Windows Store going anywhere. But all this, we're going to partner and make a box, so there's going to be, the partnerships and all that other shit. It's going to stop. Where PlayStation is going to continue to dominate with its marketplace. Go ahead.
Bro, can't I just cuff without saying that?
Would you say, can they just what?
Can't I just cuff and not say anything? What?
Would you say cuff?
Yeah, I was coughing, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know you coughed. My bad. I thought you were trying to interject. You know me, I can go on and on and on. I just want to make sure I ain't taking up all the oxygen in the room.
No, all I want to say is, Trucknet, you're fucking done. Today, that was it. We're not reading nothing from you.
yeah, bro. You got to prove you got to send us some test scores, or prove to us that you've had like 3-course meals and shit for 5 days straight, and then or send us some blood test results to make sure that you're that your glucose levels are normal, and then we'll let you get back, because today wasn't your day, brother. Yeah. And Satya, I'm gonna say this, whole slate, I agree with this comment. I'm still gonna say that fucking Hold on. Why ain't the? Oh shit. Hold on. Something's going on. Why can't? Oh, okay. All right. All right. Now it's working. Where it was? What the hell is going on? I can't see. Okay. Truck that Naughty Dog decided to cancel. For some reason, I can't put Sachi a whole slate. Okay, it won't put his comment up here for some reason. But Sachi a whole slate says that, you know, Concord was a failure, you know, but it was still but initiative is worse. Yes, absolutely. I agree. But I will say this. Concord is a massive failure. It's just it's more embarrassing than anything. It doesn't speak to a hopelessness. This is what I'm going to say. What's going on at PlayStation is definitely bad. What's going on at PlayStation is definitely bad. It's like, say for instance, a sports team, not, you know, makes the tournament, but they keep getting knocked out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, they make it to, they don't make it to the championship game. They make it to the semifinals and they were expected to win it all. That's still bad. Let's say they hire a whole bunch of, you know, star athletes to go and win the championship and they, you know, they get knocked out the first round or at the semifinals. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. But you have a future there. Xbox is the team that, you know, out of 100 games a season only wins 5. Xbox is hopeless. There's a difference between hopelessness and embarrassment. What PlayStation is going through is embarrassing, and if they continue on this embarrassing path, it can turn detrimental. What Xbox is doing goes beyond embarrassment. It's hopeless. What you heard from the I don't even know her name. I think it's Ladybug or Junebug or something like that. What you heard from her, the reincarnation of Frost, was hopelessness. It's just anger, like, fuck. We made a name for ourselves boosting up this fucking content. And this fucking Ghost of Yotei, it looks great. It's going to do well. But I gotta say something fucking crazy, because we're the same people that said Ghost of Yotei doesn't even look like it's ready. We're the same people that said it wasn't coming out in 2025. We were the same people that said it had to be pushed back to 2026. And we're fucking wrong again. And we're gonna, you know, and now we're not gonna have anywhere to turn. And Microsoft is now at a point to where they're not even throwing us a bone anymore. Phil is going on podcasts and said there's no red earrings. You know, everything that we said Xbox wouldn't do, they're doing. We look buffoonish. It's hopeless out this motherfucker. It's hopeless. That's what you're hearing. You're hearing desperation and hopelessness. Xbox is hopeless. There's no coming back from this. PlayStation is doing a lot of embarrassing things that long term could systematically uproot their brand and push them closer to hopelessness, but they're not near it. Xbox can put out as many games as they want, and the only thing that is granting them success is them putting their games on PlayStation, and the novelty of Xbox games coming to PlayStation. People are like, oh, look at this shit. It's the same thing when Dreamcast went under and Sega started putting their games on PlayStation. The novelty of it. Oh shit, okay. But when PlayStation puts out jewels, and they're putting out 2 Game of the Year nominees this year, AAA nominees, in Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei. When PlayStation puts out a game, it shakes the foundation of the gaming industry. It's quality over quantity. Oh, sure, put your games on here and sell money. We're getting our 30%. And we ain't even got to do nothing but let you come on in our store. You got to pay all the production costs, all the marketing costs, and got to pay us just to put the game on our servers. All we do is stick our hand out and say, here, give me. That's desperation because it's hopeless. It's hopeless for them. And they know that they don't, the ones that are still going to be in the fight or in the consumer market for Xbox, they're going to have to transition to PC. They know that's going to be a small fraction of the Xbox base because Xbox is not going to make a quote unquote console or a PC box. Let's be real about it. They're not going to make a PC box that's going to be affordable to that console consumer. So they know when the day comes, the box is not going to be subsidized. And those people are going to say, I can't pay $900 for that. I can't pay $1,000 for that. I'm just going to have to go get a PlayStation. I'm going to have to go get a PlayStation. The only thing that Xbox could do, to maintain a section of those gamers is A, convert everything over to the Windows Store, which they apparently are doing. So you ain't necessarily got to worry about making developers don't have to worry about making an Xbox version of a game. They can just make a Windows 11 version of the game, which they're going to make anyway because they're going to be putting it on Steam. But that's part one. Part two is if they can upgrade their cloud to work on the same levels of GeForce Now. If they can do that, then maybe they can see a larger chunk of their user base still stick around. Because a lot of people aren't going to stick around because it's now going to be cloud-based. But they can still maintain a lot more people than they would if people got to buy a native box and pay like $900 for it. If they can make a version of the hardware that streams, that's at the quality levels of a GeForce Now Ultimate, they can retain their people because they don't need an expensive box to do that. Still, the average console gamer isn't sold on the cloud. If they were, motherfuckers would have been buying GeForce Now boxes like crazy because you can get their box for like $200. They would have been buying that shit like crazy and just went to GeForce Now. Because you can get Game Pass cheaper on GeForce Now and play the games better than you could on any Xbox console. They would have been done that shit. So it's not going to be transformative. It wouldn't be, even if they went that route, it wouldn't be transformative in a way that would still put them in a fight against PlayStation Store, but it would still allow them to see some significant revenues, you know, even though you're still going to have a whole bunch of people defect in an exodus over to PlayStation, because now you would have a box that's available that's not going to cost you $900. You don't need an expensive box cloud stream. That being said, they would have, they're not going to do, I don't believe they're going to do that. So when this doesn't work, and people like from this podcast, they know that. They know it's not going to work. That eventually, until that day comes, they're just going to ride this and grind this into the ground. But they know when that day comes, when the next Xbox comes out and it's not subsidized and it's too expensive, they know that those people are going to go to PlayStation, because those people would have went to PC a long time ago. The whole novelty of, oh, I can play PlayStation games, you can do that now on PC. The whole novelty of, oh, I can get Game Pass and Steam, you could have went to PC. You could have went and built you a PC. Waited for an Amazon Prime Day and got your parts. You could have been done that shit. They're not doing it. Why? Because it's too fucking expensive. You would have been done what Dark did. You would have been done it. Because you get a better deal from Xbox on PC today. Dude, the Xbox is doing nothing besides integrating a UI. They're not doing anything that you can't do on PC today. With this new initiative, you can do it today. Why aren't you doing? You can get a pre-built system right now, today. Why aren't you doing it? Because it's outside of your scope. You're a console gamer. You're not leaving console. So when the day comes when Microsoft fully flips that switch, you're going to PlayStation, and they know it. That's why they sound bitter and salty. There's a sense of hopelessness out there that they cannot shake, and they're fucking angry. Let me play the video for you again. We gotta watch this. Sometimes just understanding the psychology, the basic psychology of people goes a long way. Let's do this. We're gonna play this again. Where's my voice meter at? Let's play this again.
My poor ears.
Watch and wait till we get to the part. Let's listen.
You see the flowers in there. You see the lighting. I've seen there's better lighting. You see better flowers on freaking Fortnite.
Better lighting and better flowers in Fortnite. Now, when y'all saw that ghost,
wait, no, show us the comparison then. If you're that fucking
yeah, exactly
confident in it.
Yeah. Better lighting and better flowers than in Fortnite. Y'all saw it. Do y'all believe that? Matter of fact, let's end this poll. Oh, no, we'll wait till it. But right now, 68% said that it was awesome. We got 62 votes. 68% said it was awesome. 16% said it was pretty cool. 10% said it was meh. And TruckNet, the 6%, TruckNet, said it was trash. We'll continue. Don't forget about the poll. Better lighting and better flowers in Fortnite. Let me play devil's advocate like I did with TruckNet. Say if that is true. Is the lighting and the flowers that bad to where it's not visually impressive? I mean, I don't agree with her, but let's just say if it was true. Fortnite's flowers and lighting must be fucking awesome. But is the lighting and the flowers in this game visually bad? Are they that bad? No. Let's continue.
You do. And if you go and compare the two, you'll be like, oh, crap. Really? Okay. So for PlayStation to be known for these, single player.
So again, the flowers, Cold Blood, help me out here, make sure I get this right. The flowers and the lighting are bad in a samurai assassin's sword slashing game. Flowers and lighting is bad. So because the flower, she didn't even say bad. She just said it's better in Fortnite. So because the flowers and the lighting is better in Fortnite, this is embarrassing.
When you say it like this, it sounds even funny.
That's why I said you got to understand the psychology of people to understand the level of desperation that they're at and hopelessness that they feel. I kind of feel bad for her because they don't know nothing else but to double down. They talked so much with their chest about the state of Xbox destroying the industry. Well, they are destroyed. They were right about that, but destroying it, they thought it like, owning the industry in a proper way, that they don't know what to do. They have two choices. We were wrong, or double down. And they're going to double down and just crash and burn until the day comes where they can't argue this bibble babble anymore. But just listen, think about that. Listen to that. Ghosty Yotei and PlayStation are embarrassing. Not what she's saying, but the game is embarrassing because the lighting and the flowers in a samurai set piece assassin game with blood and guts in it, action game, isn't as good as it is in Fortnite. I'm not saying I agree with her, but let's just play devil's advocate and say it's true. That's her argumentation. We're going to continue on because, again, you got to parse this and break this down. I know it causes brain freeze and brain hurt to do it, but for those of you that get like a knee-jerk reaction to argue with these people, don't do it. Leave that to us. Leave that to our shows. Don't even argue with these people. It's not, that's why I don't even do it that much. We'll just do a show when we're available. It's not even worth me going on Twitter. And as you notice, I'm not arguing with people on Twitter anymore. It's not even worth it anymore. This is the level of hopelessness that they're at. Do not dwell in that level of hopelessness because you'll catch it too. Here we go.
Cinematic experiences. And for them to come out here, this is embarrassing. I told you guys that Hellblade 2 was such an impactful game, and it would kind of like live on as the moment when Xbox came out here and said, we can do what PlayStation does and do it better.
Again, listen to that. Hellblade 2, which maybe sold 75 copies. Did they even advertise how many people played it on Game Pass?
What
Hellblade
game?
2, what'd you say?
Hellblade 2?
Yeah.
Nope.
Hellblade 2 represents Hellblade 2 of all games. Hellblade 2 of all games represents what PlayStation, it's not your whole slate. Hold on now. I know you're laughing. Do we have such a whole slate? What is going on? Something's wrong where his comments are not coming up on my comment app. Satya, what happened? Hold on. Can you guys see Satya whole slate in the channel? Can y'all see his comments? Let me know if y'all see his comments. Can you see it, Cold Blood? For some reason,
wait. I gotta look at this.
Satya whole slate Nadella. For some reason, I can't. His comments are not coming on my.
He says LMAO Hellblade 2 impactful with some laughing emojis.
Yeah, for some reason, it's not coming up on my. On the chat. I'm sorry, Satya. I got there's a whole bunch of weird shit happening with all my programs and stuff like that. So I'll check that out. But anyway, we'll get that fixed, buddy. But your comment is hilarious. Yeah, I'm laughing too. I'm laughing too. Here, just imagine that, right? That let's go back and listen to this again. Again, we got to understand the psychology. Hold on.
We can do what PlayStation does and do it better. And
Hellblade 2 represents what PlayStation can do, and it can be done better. She said this at the Ghost of Yotei State of Play, which happened after Death Stranding was launched. So even if she was talking aesthetically, I mean, I don't know.
Bro.
Go ahead.
First of all, Death Stranding looks better than Hellblade.
Thank you. Like that
It's
photo mode
insane. It's insane how much detail there is in Death
my
Stranding.
fucking God.
And
Wait a minute. Hellblade 2 is divided by cutscenes and jump cuts to other places. Yep.
It is not an open world that is always active.
Yeah. Yep.
So of course we expect that motherfucker to look as good as it did.
Mm-hmm.
Now try to make a Hellblade free as an open world game and see how that's gonna look
with all the elemental shit that's happening. Yeah.
If it's still gonna look as impressive as the fucking tech demo.
This again. This is why I'm breaking. This is why I stopped the music, and this is why we're breaking it down. Listen to what she said. I want to play it one more time. Sorry, Cobra. I know your ears are just running with blood coming out of them, but just listen.
PlayStation does and do it best. Said we can do what PlayStation does and do it better.
She made this comment after Death Stranding 2 came out. So even if she's just talking aesthetically.
No. Her actual statement should have been, Xbox looks at PlayStation shit and says we can do it better.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Remember the one team on Xbox said they can do nothing like Last of Us 2.
Exactly. Yes. So now that Xbox has capitulated totally to PlayStation, they're saying we can do it better? When they said, while they were still competing with them, they said we can't fuck with them. Right before they capitulated, your CEO said we can't out console PlayStation? And you say this when your most visually impressive game, which again is so small in scope, it's so small in scope, they only charge $50 for it because they realize this is too fucking small in scope. This is the same company that's now charging $80 for games. They knew that Hellblade 2 was so small in scope. Don't say, I don't, for any of you motherfuckers that want to say, oh no, what are you talking about? Hellblade 2 ain't small. They only charge you $50 for it. Well, now they're charging $80 for shit that ain't even worth $70. Hellblade 2 was so small in scope and was all visuals, they charge $50 for it. Now you have a full-scale AAA game, open world, said to Hellblade 2, fuck your water, and kicked them in the face, kicked them in the mouth, knocked them out of the pumas and put them on their chest. You still say this, even if your argument was, I'm only saying this over the aesthetics. It still doesn't apply. Desperation. Let's continue. Hopelessness. Signs of hopelessness. Let's continue.
And still be able to do what we are known for, right? They came out here to go and rule everything. That was a big deal. For PlayStation to still try to figure out how to make a gas game and drop the ball on what they are known for, they are done. They are cooked. Come on, man. You should not be delivering a game that looks like you just switched up the protagonist.
Shout out to
Vegeta
Vegeta 90 for just following the channel. Appreciate it.
Started on that patronizing lo-fi freaking situation that they have going on with this game, because that is flat out ridiculous. Going on with this game because lo-fi freaking situation that they have going against, and you handed off more of the same. And don't even get me started on that patronizing lo-fi freaking situation that they have going on with this game, because that is flat out ridiculous.
What the fuck is wrong with this lo-fi mode? Why is that triggering her so much?
You talking about the black and white mode?
No. The one where the kind of chill beats are playing, like in
mode. Yeah.
Samurai Champloo. Like, why is she triggered like this, bro? I don't understand it.
I will say this. People like this, if this is what you consume outside of comical entertainment, and you listen to this and you're like, yeah, you're right, go ahead and get them, Junebug. You're not a gamer. You're not into gaming culture. You're just not. The director of Samurai, I'm fucking up the name. The director of the anime series that mode is inspired off of actually produced the music because it's part of the culture. Like, being a gamer just ain't about grabbing a joystick and going pew 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 pew. Being a gamer infuses you with the culture. Anybody can pick up a like my wife plays Candy Crush and plays these fucking slot games and shit. Like, she's not a gamer because she's not into the culture. When we talk about being a gamer, you are into the culture. Now, some are more into the culture than others, but you're into the culture of gaming and the things that fuel gaming. To be so triggered by this lo-fi mode when it's part of the culture in a game like this, it would be like being upset about the black and white mode. I haven't seen, and I will never watch a full episode of their content, but I wonder if she goes off about the black and white mode. That's so patronizing. Again,
no. It's so triggering because it reminds me of World War II.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's for those of you that don't understand the importance of, or just, I don't want to say the importance, but the novelty of having that type of mode in all of the old school samurai movies, Lone Wolf and Cub and other, like Lone Wolf and Cub is infamous for that. Lone Wolf and Cub is a classic samurai movie. I don't want to spoil it. It's about old school samurai who wanted to get out, and he couldn't. They were like, no, you can't leave this clan or whatever. Because I can't remember the entire background. I don't want to spoil it for you. But this motherfucker, he's so bad, and he's walking around. They killed his wife, and he's walking around with his son. And they sent all these assassins to get him because he's like the best former samurai assassin that's out there. And he puts it, and what he's done is, because they just jump out of the bushes and everything, he set up his baby carriage to have like all these weapons and shit on it so he can kill people. Classic black and white samurai movie from back in the 50s and 60s. And that's what inspired that mode. Inspired modes like that. Like when Lone Wolf and Cub started being shown in color, fans, people that were watching the series back then, they were actually upset. There's like, put it back in black and white. There's a symbolic history when it comes to shit like that, that if you're infused in the culture, a lot of people know. Now, some of y'all that are listening to this, maybe you don't know that backdrop of the story, but you're not going to be triggered by it. You're not going to be upset. Why is this black and white mode there? Why is there lo-fi music? It's patronizing. It's part of the culture. And you being upset by that just shows us that you're not part of the culture. That you're out here just trying to get clicks by talking shit. Just like everybody else that's just popped out of nowhere this generation.
Actually, Moss, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
What is she known for?
What isn't Hargeet on this too? Or Hargeet was on? She's just, Hargeet.
Yeah, they are all on there. But what is she known for?
For being on a podcast with Hargeet. That's it.
Well, what an impressive resume.
Yeah, I mean, look. Let's look at the triangle here, or whatever you want to call it, or the pyramid.
Because every time I see her, she has the worst takes on all of them.
And that's why that's another thing that's led to her popularity. Like, in order for you to be an Xbox content creator, all you have to do is just talk the most shit on PlayStation. That's it. That's what gets you popularity. PlayStation content creators, on the other hand, yeah, okay, you talk shit on PlayStation or not. Okay, fine, but you're not getting in the club unless you prove that you play PlayStation games. Hashtag, what's your gamer score? You can say whatever the fuck you want. PlayStation gamers are not owning you. They're not going to own you as one of their own until you show that you game on PlayStation regularly. You know what I'm saying? It's just, say what you want. And yes, there's cappers on both sides, but there's just a higher bar. Even with the bullshit that may be on both, this is just a higher bar over on the PlayStation side. But for the Xbox content, all you gotta do is talk a lot of shit on Xbox. Your gamer score could be 0. You could have booted up Cuphead for 5 minutes and that's it. That's all you got. That's all you've ever done. You talk a lot of shit on PlayStation, you're in the club. And how do I know this? Am I just talking hyperbole? No. I used to be with this group. I used to be in the DMs, their Xbox exclusive DMs. And watch what they said. They hate the Xbox community is just infused with people that hate PlayStation. That's the overwhelming majority of their vocal community. It's just people that hate PlayStation. They hate PlayStation because they just didn't like it back in the day, or they hate PlayStation because they came across a content creator that told them that they should hate PlayStation, and they are lonely, and they figured they followed that content creator. It's not, most of it is not because of the quality of games or the quality of the platform. The overwhelming, now there are some people that it's possible that you can play PlayStation, just not like what they have to offer and prefer something else. That is possible. But I'm telling you, the majority of the voices here are people that just simply want to hate on PlayStation from a parasocial standpoint, not from a quality of product standpoint, a parasocial standpoint, and they just ride the bandwagon. That's it. That is it. Oh shit. Jenna Hayes is stupid. Read Jenna Hayes' comment. Cold blood. That's her explanation of why she's famous.
What is the explanation?
Jenna Hayes has a comment in the chat. She gives her own explanation. I ain't gonna read it. Her own explanation of why she's funny. I mean, why she's famous. But that's it. I used to be in the chats with these guys.
Damn.
I used to be in the chats with these dudes. Now, I wasn't in the chat with these motherfuckers, but I know what they're in the incarnation of. Like, this all comes from the Diller podcast, and what was the name of his fucking podcast? I forgot the name of his podcast.
RDX.
Yeah, RDX. These are the motherfuckers from the RDX days, and trust me, I've had my dealings with, of course, D-Batch, Tim when he was the ultimate bot, and some other people that come from that. Those people came about from Next Gen 720, my mentor, the person that pulled me into this shit. And is the only reason why you motherfuckers even know who I am, for those of you that do know who I am. Because of Next Gen. Next Gen discovered all them motherfuckers. But because Next Gen wouldn't continue to play ball with Xbox, they said, well, we want to get a good, we feel like Xbox is it's gonna take us to the promised land. And they all converted and doubled down. They, it's like we ain't gonna fuck with ZR like that as much, and we're gonna go and double down on RDX, right? And like I said, even if I were these guys who were the birth child of RDX and, Hargeet, the connection between them and RDX is Hargeet was a regular on RDX. Hargeet is a regular here. RDX isn't around, but they want to, it's all about just talking shit on play. That's what it's all about now. As long as we can talk shit on play, we don't give a fuck what Xbox is doing. We're going to talk shit on PlayStation. As long as we can talk shit on PlayStation and we can find a way to talk shit on them, let's fucking do it. That's what it's all about now. Now people say, well, that could be the same for PlayStation content. No, you don't see Xbox content creators doing what we did. We favor PlayStation as a console. What did we do last week? Dedicated the overwhelming majority of our time to shitting on PlayStation. We shat on them. Said Hiroki Totoki, Hermhost, and Nishino should be fired. And I stand by that right now.
Bro, the video from Next Gen with the Sea of Thieves and God of War was
my God.
was never as relevant as today because she
Yeah.
said Fortnite looks better than
Then go see Yotei.
Ghost of Youth. Bro, show him the part where he shows it. It's so funny.
If I can, I wish I still had that clip.
No, I got it for you.
Oh,
Just
you
go
got-
to
oh,
9:30. Just go to 9:36.
Oh, he found it. Hey, bro. Hey, Z. Don't. No, Z ain't gonna do that. I'm just fucking around. But
Man, we
don't
just
strike
gonna
my
show
channel.
like a minute of it, bro. Like,
Don't strike my channel, Z. When I show this shit, this is this
just go to 9:36. 9:36.
9:36. Oh my fucking god,
Yeah.
bro! Like this.
This is legendary.
It is legendary. I'm gonna put this shit in the chat too when we get to you. If you got, I feel sorry for you guys that weren't around during this time. This is when the content was actually good. Even though a lot of us bots, me at the time too, we were spewing bullshit. At least we were trying. You know what I'm saying? Like it was still bullshit, but we were trying. There weren't comments like Fortnite flowers and lighting is better than Ghost of Yotei, therefore Yotei is an embarrassment. I mean, there were dumb shit like God of War doesn't have a jump button, but at least we were trying. There is no trying now. There's a lot more of inbred Xbox PlayStation haters. They're more vocal now, but the argumentation has become so dumb. But this is Z, and he's considered next gen. If y'all don't know who he is, next gen 720, he's considered the bot father. He is the one who single-handedly even made a stage for you guys to argue for Xbox. It was not back in this day when he first came out. It was not popular to argue on behalf of Xbox. Was not popular at all, especially on the heels of that E3 where the infamous, this is how you share a PlayStation game. You know what I'm saying? With Yoshida and I forget the dude's name. During that, but Z said, I don't give a fuck. And he is considered the bot father. He's the one that discovered a Diller Gaming. And you know, and then who discovered Cold Eastwood and brought him on the show. He discovered D-Batch. He discovered myself. He discovered Post Up. You know what I'm saying? And all these other people. Right? So here you go. This is what he had to, he came to his senses way before I did. He was trying to tell me, Moss, like give it up. Xbox is done, son. And I know I'm the bot father. I'm the one that created this platform for y'all motherfuckers. Right? Here's what he had to say about Sea of Thieves versus God of War. Hold on. Oh shit. Here we go.
Now watch this, right? I'm gonna share my screen. Sit there, everyone. Make this small. Hold on 1 second. Can you guys see my screen? Hold up. Let me see if you can see my screen. I'm a little ahead of you. I got a picture up. Miss, you can see the screen. Oh, you can see it. You get the picture. I got the world's most powerful console. Look at that shit. And look at this shit. I got the world's most powerful console. God damn it, Red. God damn it. Yo, you can't make this shit up. Say that shit, wait till you see the water. Man, fuck that water. Fuck you want me to do? Sip it? That shit is trash. Dog shit. Hey,
Oh shit.
look at this. And I know I'm a goddamn God of War fan. Maybe, but you pick any of the goddamn Sony exclusives and line them up to this shit here. Now I ain't talking about gameplay, fun play, replay value. Because you think, well, look, here you go. I already know. Listen, I already know you Xbox damage control argument. Why? Because I taught you, motherfuckers. Well, that's a one and done. You gonna play what? See, Thieves don't keep making money. You keep growing. And fuck you. Fuck your mama, fuck your grandmama, and fuck your slow ass uncle. And like to touch, like they like to touch all the females in the family. Fuck him too. fuck Fuck Uncle Teddy. That drunk ass uncle that like to molest everybody in the family,
Oh,
man,
nigga.
with a child. Fuck him too. I already know what you're gonna say. But damn, Nick, you ain't gonna be so hard. Yes, the fuck I do. Harsh verses and harsh curses. That's what you're gonna get tonight. Oh, you not entertained? This is the epitome of diabetic gaming. Listen, we want to get the slogan here popping, right? We want to get these t-shirts made up. Diabetic gaming. All sweet moist shit.
Hey, yo. So when y'all hear us say "fuck that water," that's where it came from. and an unknown fact, or probably a little known fact, he made, and I got one of the shirts at home too. I'm gonna put a picture of it on Twitter. Z came out with shirts called "The Kraken is Lacking," talking about the Kraken and Sea of Thieves, because they were talking about, oh, there's gonna be a Kraken added to Sea of Thieves. He said a Kraken? A Kraken? What the fuck are you talking about Kraken? So he made a shirt called "The Kraken is Lacking," and I got one. And I don't know if he ever made a "fuck that water" shirt, but he made a diabetic gaming shirt. Don't you know? And it's rumored that it was a podcaster that we talked about earlier in the show. Don't you know that somebody contacted the Diabetic Association and reported Z on them to try to get them to sue Z and put that video down? True story. I remember talking to Z. We was all talking to Z. The diabetic, and he talks about it too, live on air. The diabetic, somebody had reported it to the Diabetic Association. And at the Diabetic Association, they tried to sick the Diabetic Association on next gen. That's how pathetic this community had got. When they start doing shit like that, I had to step away. Like, nah.
Bro, I'm crying.
Oh shit. I'm gonna say this. Here's what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't want to get into this shit, because you guys may or may not find out down the road what it involves. Andrew Wilkins says C-Fresh dealer had a breakdown or something. It's karma for the prejudice shit he and Colt did to J-Dub. Yeah, I remember when that happened. I actually made a video about that, and he tried to call me dealer tried to call me scum. What do he call me? A scummy crumb-side podcaster? Like he's not a scummy podcast, crumb-side podcaster. I'll say this. Dealer got some shit going on, and if you are interested in trying to figure out, well, what may that be, follow Next Gen 720. That's all I'm going to say. He's been posting about it recently. That's all I'm going to say. I have nothing else to say. He said that reporting him to the Diabetic Association is some Drake shit, bruh. It was hilarious. It was hilarious and crazy at the same time. They tried to, one of these podcasters, and Jenna Hayes will put the name in the chat. I ain't gonna do it. One of the podcasters who has a background in policing had told a whole bunch of other Xbox podcasters, let's sue this dude and let's get the police after him over his opinions of Xbox. They literally tried to get that's why I said, I had mentioned them, and I said I am not going to give them credit for it, because they're fucking kooky. They're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and they just happen to throw so much shit against the wall. One of the items happened to be right, or maybe they had got wind of it from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because a little bit more credible source had mentioned it. But yeah, they actually was going to sue Z. Content creators, not Xbox, content creators were going to form together and sue Z because of what he said in this video. That's what I knew, that the Xbox community had gone crazy and they were going rabid, and I was like, I don't want to be, I can't be a part of this shit. I can't be a part of this shit. Yep. But yeah, I feel for you guys. Do us a huge favor. We got 40 people watching. Hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. Or hit the dislike button. You know what I'm saying? Keep us from being shadow banned. When we drop content like this, you guys miss it because YouTube doesn't always put us in the searches because we got a bunch of haters that are out here too. Oh, he's talking bad about Xbox. And then they'll go report our video for whatever reason instead of YouTube investigating it. Like another thing YouTube does is when somebody makes a claim on music, it's a person that don't even own the music. They make up a fake account and claim that they own certain music, and YouTube will actually pay them if there's not already, if somebody hasn't already filed a DCMA claim. See, this is what they do. See, we play a lot of, what do you call it? This is why I stopped playing the titles of the songs on my video because that made it even worse. We play a copyright-free playlist, right? And so a big scam on YouTube is people will go, and they know it's copyright-free, so there's no copyright claim on it. People will go and create an account on YouTube, and YouTube permits this is fucking disgusting. Google is just as shitty as Microsoft in a lot of ways. People will go and create a fake account and say, "Oh, I own that copyright-free music," and YouTube doesn't debate it. They'll let people do it, and if you're like, "Oh, fuck it, I don't have time to deal with all these claims," shout out to Andrew Wilkins celebrating 9 months of membership. He says that toxic couple interviewed a lead at Obsidian. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, did they say to the Avowed developers that their game looks like trash and Fortnite looks better? Did they say that to them? Because if not, that.
Oh yeah.
Because, bro, if not, they are fucking hypocrites.
Yeah, they're hypocrites, yeah, frauds, yeah.
Because Avowed looks fucking garbage, bro.
Yeah, they're the flowers in the ground looks better. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I played it on a fucking PC in 4K and everything, and it looks fucking trash.
Yeah. Yep. They sure didn't. But yeah, we need your support. Just hit that like button or dislike. You know what I'm saying? YouTube does some goofy shit, and you know it fucks with a smaller channel like ours, and it forces us into situations where we got to go to the purple team sometimes or whatever. Hey, look, Xbox is all about taking advantage of the parasocial relationship. Here's the problem. Shout out to Jay for celebrating 3 months of membership. Appreciate it, good friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Here's the thing. Xbox will allow you to say whatever you want. Like, for instance, and this is why I say even content creators like them, or just said, fuck it, we're just going to ride this into the ground. I would never do anything for Xbox. Let me give you an example. A lot of you may or may not know, I used to create content on Stadia. I'm huge on cloud gaming. Stadia at the time was I felt like it was awesome. And it was doing some shit that you weren't even getting from native hardware at the time. You were getting 60 frames per second. I could just literally just hit a button, go from my phone to my computer to my, what's it called? It had its quirks, but it also had some things that it wasn't doing, that it was doing that other things weren't doing as well. Now you fast forward to when they downsized, they got rid of studios, and they were doing some other stuff, and they were trying to reconfigure their business model. They were like, look, this entire in the cloud type thing isn't going to work. We're going to have to embrace some native game. Like if you buy games somewhere else, we'll allow you to play those games on our technology. And they were doing some other things like with emulators and stuff like that. It never got off the ground totally because they canceled Stadia before it happened. But we were getting assurances from the people that worked at Stadia. Yeah, we're pursuing this. We're about to expand here. We're doing this. We're doing that. I even had people in high places at Stadia slow leaking stuff to me. I was getting I was seeing emails, confidential emails, all this stuff, right? And I was like, okay, cool. These people are really putting 10 toes down into doing this and making this a better platform, despite the shortcomings, right? Then all of a sudden they just pulled the plug. They pulled the plug and left a lot of people in the wind. I was like, oh, this is shitty. You know, I went on a tirade and was like, no, this is bullshit what they've done. You can never trust Google again in the gaming space, right? I was like, there are people that I like. It wasn't the Stadia people. It wasn't even Phil Harrison or Jack Buser and those people. It was the Google board and the leadership at Google/Alphabet that totally dropped the ball here. And ever since then, I will say the Stadia people were fantastic. They were great. Even give Phil Harrison and definitely Jack Buser his props. I don't fuck with Google. Don't fuck with Alphabet, and I will never, ever, ever approve of a Google or Alphabet initiative in gaming ever again. We'll never do it. We'll never do it because I was part of the content creator group that was like, oh no, they're working on this. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Only for Google and Alphabet to pull the rug from under that. Never again. Now, there are still people out there, believe it or not, there are still people out there that are leaning on that whole motif about, you know, Stadia and this is like Stadia or that's like Stadia. They're still trying to lean on the nostalgia of Stadia, and they're still riding that train, and they're still seeing success as content creators. There's still people out there doing that. I said, I'll give my respect to the teams. I give my respect to the vision when the people that were moving in the right direction were moving, but done with that. And I still, have my full support around cloud gaming, particularly NVIDIA GeForce Now, but moving in a different direction, right? There were things that people at Google said, hey, look, we would like for you to talk about this, or people close to Google said, we would like for you to talk about this. And I said, no, I can't do it. No way. Never. That's not what I was about. And to keep on the gravy train of the Google/legacy Stadia enthusiasm, I'm not here to create content to benefit myself. This is a hobby. This is something that I want to use a vehicle I want to use to inform gamers. I'm not in this just for me, right? So no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And I haven't done it. So that's just me. Fool me once, shame on you, right? So after people like Diller and them on RDX was talking that fucking shit about 40 to 50 frame deltas and all that crazy shit, and then for that, and then they went to the tools for all of that to not come to fruition. I would have had no choice but to do what Tim Dog did and say, oh no, you guys took me for a ride. So you can sit there and say Tim Dog was a fool or whatever, but what you got to understand is Tim Dog was gaming with the CEO. He had conversations with with Phil Spencer, this motherfucker that y'all idolize and y'all have wet dreams about, that you're getting teabagged by him. Phil had a personal relationship with this dude, and Tim was out there. He was the biggest foot soldier for Xbox. The biggest foot soldier for Xbox. Like, me and Tim is cool. We've always been cool. Let me say something about Xbox and Tim feel like he got to say something. Oh, Tim will pull all types of shit. Oh, you Stadia nut lapper. I mean, he would go all in about Xbox. That was his team. For him not to even get an inkling or a warning from Xbox. And I can tell you from being someone that was, as far as the mainstream community was concerned, one of the more optically known Stadia creators. I mean, there were way bigger creators than me, but when it came to the mainstream, y'all didn't know about the bigger ones. Y'all knew about me. I felt a level of betrayal, but I understood where it came from. It came from Google and not the people I was talking to. I felt some type of way when they just pulled the plug like that. You know what I'm saying? We're like, nah, I'm not going through that again. You can imagine how Tim felt. And Tim wasn't the only one. Now, Tim has the most resources and insight out of all of them. So when a motherfucker sit there and say, oh no, Tim is making up shit, he's lying, Tim always comes out on the right side 99 times than 100 over them motherfuckers, right? More so than they do. They should have done what Tim did. Because if they don't care about Tim, if Phil didn't care about Tim and didn't just nudge him and say, you might want to slow down a little bit, step away. I can't tell you much, or if anything, but some things are changing that are going to kind of like undermine all your rah-rah on Tim. He didn't get anything. If they were going to do that to Tim, they don't give a fuck about the rest of y'all. They will throw y'all under the bus or they'll throw y'all in the river and fill the river with y'all just so they can walk across the water. They don't care. So the pathetic, this is the pathetic part about all this. These people, or even though Xbox is, like I said, would fill a whole lake with them just to walk over them and walk across the water, they don't care. They're going to drown in that lake. So if Xbox don't care about them and they're willing to be used, what does that say about how they think about you? They really don't care about you because they don't even care about themselves. They don't. How can you expect anybody that know they're being used by Xbox, know that Xbox will let them say anything and not tap them on the shoulder like, nah, chill, nah, just relax. To know that you're being used like that, reckless abandoning, knowing that you're going to do that, they know they're cooking up something that they're going to do in the next month that is going to totally contradict everything that you've just said, and you have contacts there. Look at how they do Jazz Gordon, and he still won't learn his lesson. They burn that motherfucker every day on the back of the neck and his face. He got cigarette marks everywhere. Don't get mad for a week or two and go right back to capping for them. These people don't care about you. They don't care about themselves. That's why I said you gotta understand the psychology of this shit. I'm not trying to be mean, and please don't call the Mental Health Association on me like how y'all did the Diabetic Association on Z. But there are some people with some real mental health deficiencies here that just happen to be in places of quote unquote power, I guess you want to call it. You have to be low mentally to keep getting burned over and over and over and over and over again and continue to just dust yourself right back up and say, here, you missed this spot on my face. They do it every day. These people don't care about themselves. What do you think they care about you? They don't give a shit about you. Beyond an entertainment value, for your own sake, of knowing what the fuck is going on, you have no business listening to them beyond some type of comical entertainment value. If you're sitting there digesting the shit that they're telling you, full-throated, and taking it as gospel, you are digesting their same mental health deficiencies into your own persona. And that's why Trucknet's the home. He's been around for a very long fucking time debating us here. But these Xbox content creators are at a new low. The only thing they have to salivate over is PlayStation fuck-ups. They're at a new low of helplessness. New low. Never thought they would be here. They're trying to drag everybody down with them. That's why I was fucking with you. I like to fuck with Trucknet. That's why we had to tell him, bro, stop ingesting the bullshit that you're hearing from them. You got to be, now you can't rely on them at all. It used to be they at least used to give you a little bit of smidgen of something. Now you can't rely on these motherfuckers at all. They're at a low spot. You talk about the sunken place, they're in a place that's 1,000 feet under that. You can't rely on them at all. And you're talking to somebody who, again, as much as I love the PlayStation product, if I'm not happy or if Cold Blood's not happy, we're going to let it be known. We've had people in the community, people, send subliminal shots to us. Oh, you motherfuckers are never happy. Da 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 da. I don't, We get it all the time. Don't give a fuck. Just flick it off and keep on moving. So you're not talking to someone being a hypocrite. I don't listen to everybody on the same fence that likes PlayStation. I am telling you, this is a warning from someone that was on that side that talked to those people. You can't listen to them outside of pure entertainment, laughter. Oh, that was funny what he said. Outside of that, they have no informational value whatsoever. All you're doing is ingesting their same mental depravities that they suffer from. They burn Jazz in the face every day with a pack of Newports. Every day. Come here, Jazz. That really hurt. Gosh. Oh, fuck. Hey, you missed this spot. He gets burned on Monday, gets up on Tuesday. He missed this spot. Every fucking time. And he's not the only one. Xbox's PC. That's what they're going to. They've completely shied away from you, the majority of you that are even quote unquote in this fight, console gamers. The proof is in the pudding. If you were not beyond a console gamer, you would have been got a fucking PC like Doc Dog. If you were just about Xbox as a product, regardless of where it's at, you would have been done with Doc Dog did. You would have got a fucking Xbox. You would have got a fucking PC. So it's not about Xbox the product. It's about Xbox the product on console for you. They are abandoning you. And you still want to play this game. PlayStation's doing this. That makes me more hopeful. Your future is bright. Oh, this PlayStation did that. PlayStation, dropped some Kool-Aid or dropped a hot dog on themselves at the picnic. Now that means that this other food that looks spoiled from these other people might actually be good because they dropped. No. There's a huge, again, say it one more time and then we're going to go to the last segment and get out of here. Huge difference between embarrassment and hopelessness. Xbox is hopeless if you're a console gamer. If you're into PC gaming, or hell, if you're even into cloud gaming, and you came into this game late, when you first came in, Xbox wasn't on PC as frequently as they were, and they weren't doing for PC as much as they were, or there wasn't as many games or access granted to you on the cloud, then yeah, I get it. But most of y'all don't fit into that category. Most of y'all are console gamers. You don't have a gaming rig. Because if it was about the ecosystem, you would have been out of gaming. You would have said, I don't give a fuck where Xbox is at. So let me sell this console because I get the best Xbox experience on PC. No, you're an Xbox console gamer. And they're abandoning the console. They're going to come out with a box set to put on your that is a pre-built PC that they're not subsidizing the cost for. You're being abandoned for somebody else who has not been as faithful to Xbox as you have. You still bought the native games, even if barely. You still bought the product, even though it did not fulfill its promise. While they're giving them all the benefits. You spent thousands on the hardware and games and subscription services and accessories. They just pay $12 a month, if that, unless they go on Green Man Gaming or somewhere and get a $6 monthly code. That's all they do. You spend thousands on the platform. They spend about $6 a month. They get everything you get and some. And you're still getting burnt in the face. Or you're listening to someone that's still getting burnt in the face and you're taking what you're saying as gospel. I can't feel sorry for you. Only thing I can do is give you this final warning. You're a console gamer. You know what you got to do. You know where you need to go. Do not be in there's a level of patheticness and mental health deficiency. I mean, just look at when she said what she said. It's embarrassing. And she just looked around like, oh, did I just fucking say that? Thank you, William Andrew Wilkins, for the $2. Appreciate it, good brother. Thank you so much. It's a mental health deficiency. All right, let's move on to this last part. Then we're gonna get out of here. Goes to Yotei. I mean, not goes to Yotei. Even though that looks like it might be my game of the year. We'll see. We'll see. Death Stranding 2 Cold Blood or Expedition 33. What is going to be the 22? What has, or I'll put it like this, because we don't know, there could be something coming out at the end of the year. What has the better chance of being the 2025 game of the year in your opinion? Well, first tell us your personal favorite out of the two, and then let us know what you think is more likely to be 2025 game of the year. Oh shit, we lost Cold Blood. Damn it, I didn't even realize it. Well, what do you guys think? Here, let me stop this chat until Cold Blood. Let me stop this poll. We're gonna end this poll right here. What did you think about the Yotei State of Play? 67% said it was awesome. 16% said it was pretty good. 10% said it was meh. 5% said it was trash. We had 77 votes. Let's do this. I need to do another poll. Who will win game of the year? Let's put it like this. Who has a better chance of winning game of the year 2025? Of course, you know, they didn't do that as a poll. Got to do it as start a poll. Who has a better chance of winning game of the year 2025? We're gonna put Death Stranding 2, Expedition 33, or fuck it, I'll put Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei. Lastly, something else. And if you select something else and you're not too afraid, let us know in the chat what you think that something else is going to be. I'm going to say this. right now, just off of what I've seen, and I know what my particular tastes are, my particular game of the year looks like it might be Ghost of Yotei, because that's more up my alley. But I haven't played Death Stranding 2. I haven't finished Expedition 33. I don't know. There's a lot of people saying that Expedition 33 might have it hands down. When I was talking to Cold Blood, his personal selection was Death Stranding 2. But you know, he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. He leaned more towards Death Stranding 2 because he's like, after the second act of Expedition 33, he wasn't digging the story all like that. And I haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know what he's referring to. But he was like, to him, after the second act, he's like, the cliffhanger is done with. You know what I mean? In his opinion. But let's just see what y'all saying in the chat. Lionel Bolger says Death Stranding 2 got this in 5. Okay. All right. In 25. Ghost of Yotei will be in conversation, but I think Expedition 33 will have higher odds as a new IP and size of team will help it. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be, it might be a hard task because, you know, more people are just seem to be, they really want to push Expedition 30. Not saying it's not deserving of it, but because of it just coming out of nowhere, it being a double A darling and a sign of double A's really, you know, and I think the industry wants to send a message, and I get it. I just don't want it to be pushed more farther than what it deserves, but I get it. In an age where the gaming community, and this is where it's biting you in the ass, particularly Xbox and anybody else, and all these analysts, you can't go by these analysts. This is why I'm not a big fan of the CFO being in charge of Sony, because these people just follow money and they don't always think logically. They just follow what they think can generate more money, but they don't understand the psychology of the consumer. They don't understand the culture that they're trying to generate money from, and they don't realize the long-term detriment that it can cause. All these analysts that were running around talking about, oh yeah, you know, because so-and-so might be 100, which is Grand Theft Auto, you know, other games could be, you know, 100 as well, you know, and the industry is pushing for that. And that might be the case, but but games like this, and I would even argue Atomfall and even the Oblivion remake, they are giving you AAA aesthetics. They're giving you big open world games like Atomfall. Look, here's my thing. If Outer Worlds 2 is going to be $80, fucking Atomfall could be $1,000. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing that I saw in Outer Worlds 2 that impressed me as much as I enjoyed Atomfall. And I got to get back to that game. I was wrapping up V Rising, and you know, and my spare time was heavily limited. But I'm gonna I'm gonna get back to Atomfall. Atomfall is fucking awesome, right? So yeah. In an era where these AA games, and I know a lot of people don't like saying this, but it's the truth, they're putting away the push for AAA games to extract more from you. I think that's what the conversation is. I know in certain spaces people are like, look, don't say that AA games are putting AAA games to shame. I don't think the thought process behind that, it may not be worded perfectly behind the thought process, but I think the thought process behind it isn't just, you know, all AAA games suck and AA games are great. No, it's like now we're seeing the powers to be in the industry try to push or try to extrapolate more from you for to indulge in AAA games, and you're getting AA games that are giving you just as much as you're getting from these same games that want to now charge you $80 or even $100. You're getting more from these AA games that begs the question, hey, why would I pay $80 for that when I got $50 from that and it was just as much, if not better, aesthetically and as far as content, right? Again, classic example, Atomfall. Atomfall is humongous. Game looks fucking fantastic visually. It got, you know, AAA-esque visuals. And to me, it looks better than Outer Worlds 2 from what I've saw. So why is that 80 and this is only 50? You understand what I'm saying? So when people say it's putting AAA games to shame, I think they're talking about the effort that we're seeing from the industry. The industry is trying to tell us why they're justified in charging you $80 for said game when I look at a $50 comparative game and I'm getting just as much, if not more, when it comes to quality. And the industry is hurting themselves when Microsoft jumps first on the band. They're the last company that should be jumping first on this bandwagon. I can understand, which I wouldn't agree with, but I can understand the business impetus to maybe make Call of Duty your first game where you do that and then watch what the response is. But no, they had to go to make Outer Worlds 2. No, there's nothing in Outer Worlds 2 comparatively to Atomfall, for instance, that makes me say, oh yeah, that's worth $80. Meanwhile, Atomfall was worth $50. The only difference is the studio name behind it. And I don't mean jack fucking squat to me as a consumer. That means jack squat to me as a consumer. So my thing is, if you're going to charge $80 for games, and then you got all these analysts, I think that it's the psychology of it. You got all these analysts saying, yeah, we deserve $80 for this game. Meanwhile, you got people that they may not have a name as big as yours, but they're charging less. That's why they're saying that's the mental impetus behind the statement. AA games are putting AAA games to shame. What people are saying, the TLDR of it is, you guys want to raise the price on something that a smaller name company is providing and some. That puts you to shame that you guys are pushing this effort. And I agree with that sentiment. I agree with that sentiment. So I think the industry, the journos and whoever, they want to send a message. They want to send a message to the industry. They want to send a message to the overseers in the industry. Don't raise your prices. Don't be so quick to raise those prices. And they probably want to push what's the name over? A AAA, even though Death Stranding may be better. I don't know. Even if Ghost of Yotei may be better, I think they want to send a message, and that helps the argumentation. And sometimes people do that. It would be a shame though if Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotei are better, but they kind of lose points because people want to send a message. Or maybe Expedition 33 is just better. Who knows? And I can't objectively speak to that because I haven't finished any of them. And Ghost of Yotei ain't even out now. But just keep that in the back of your mind as you're watching this. The industry wants to send a message, and it's because the greediness. And here's my thing. When it comes to this discussion, I'm on the side of you've already raised the prices. Just you got to wait till next gen. Here's why I say that. People erroneously say, well, the cartridges used to cost more. There's two problems with that. Number one, in the cartridge era, the cartridges themselves used to cost more because to make the cartridge, it costs more money. Shout out to Cold Blood, he came back. The cartridge costs more money.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right, bro. That's all right, bro. The cartridge costs more money. Because the cartridge costs more money, that justified the price going up. The problem with that is it's like the same thing. Once you have one person mention that they're going to bring a game to $80, now everybody is saying, because their investors are asking, why aren't you going up to $80? Now everybody wants to bring their game up to $80. Now Outer Worlds 2, you know what I'm saying? Which, for all intents and purposes, looks like another one of these $50 AA games with AAA polish. Now they want to be $80. Saying that we've already seen this story. We got to learn from our history. because some people justifiably raised the price because their production along with the cartridges were higher. Other people started doing that. Where you had people that had these big games that were considered big back then, really trying to squeeze all that data on the cartridge. Now everybody's charging a whole bunch of games for their cartridges when they didn't have those problems. They had smaller titles that they were charging an arm and a leg for because they were putting them on a cartridge, where they weren't having the same problems as somebody else as far as optimizing to put it on a cartridge. So that's why games inherently were more expensive, part one. Part two is, even though you had games back then that may have been $50, $60 back in the early 90s or whatever, because they were on a cartridge, regardless of whatever the reason was, you did not have all these auxiliary costs. A lot of time, the costs were built in to you buying the game. So if I wanted to play, everything that I needed either came with the console or was embedded in the cartridge. Did I want to save it? I either wrote down the save code or I saved it on the cartridge battery. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to play with other people. Okay, play. Someone put another controller in. All of that was infused into the console and the cartridge itself. Now it's different. You want to save the game? You need a hard drive. You want to play online? You want to play with somebody else? A lot of these games now don't even have couch co-op. I gotta pay for online. And there's other costs infused. So there's additional auxiliary costs that are infused if you want to play your favorite game that weren't available, that didn't exist back then. And I did the math. Even when you adjust for the cost of inflation, when you look at the average amount of games that were bought back in those days with the cartridge era versus now, even when you adjust for inflation, when you infuse all these auxiliary costs that you need in order to play these games today, you're paying more per generation than gamers did back then. See, that's the problem. People are not looking at this holistically. They're comparing game to game. They're saying, well, so-and-so, this game, Legend of Zelda, was $60 back then, and this game is $60, and when you adjust for the price, $60 today is way less than $60. No, you can't do it like that. You have to infuse all the costs, because people don't just buy one game, they buy multiple games, right? And they don't just pay for online for 1 month. They pay every month. They don't rent a hard drive when they need it and just send it back. They need the hard drive, so they gotta buy. You gotta infuse all the costs that's involved in gaming for an entire generation with an entire console to the previous generations and consoles. And when you add all those costs together, and even when you adjust for inflation, people are paying more to game today than they were back then. So that's why there's the moniker, these AA games are putting AAA games to shame. It's not saying that AA games are better. They're talking about the efforts behind them and the piss poor excuses to justify another price hike, a multiple price hike within the same generation. You raised the prices already. Wait till next gen. And the only reason why they didn't raise them last gen, because there wasn't a technical aspect justification to do it. What major technology was infused last gen over the 7th generation? There wasn't one. Games look better, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't one. There wasn't a consistent thing over the prior gen that you saw last gen.
Moss.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you, they raised the prices for us in Europe.
Yeah, that is true.
we paid 70 euros already in the PS4 generation. So
Yeah. And now they're doing it twice. Yeah, can you imagine if you're outside of the US? They're doing it 3 times in the last 2 generations. That's absurd to me. There wasn't a justification to go from 60 to 7 last gen because the technology wasn't enhanced that much. It was just prettier versions of all the offerings from even the games. You were just seeing a lot of sequels from the 360 generation. You were seeing all of the ideas from the 360 PlayStation 3 generation. The standouts were what? As far as game wise, but that's just as far as like innovation in the game. God of War, Last of Us, and I would say Ghost of Tsushima. But that was standouts in the gameplay and the ingenuity in the games. Now, technology wise, you didn't really see much. The technology didn't make a big enough leap to justify a price increase, in my opinion. It wasn't until this generation. They kind of ran into a bottleneck last generation, improving from this 7th generation. Now they made a significant enough increase in the technology offering. You're getting more 60 frames per second performance modes, a lot more ray tracing becoming available. Now they're able to justify it. So you got a price increase. You've already made your price increase. It's over with as far as I'm concerned as a consumer. So I think people just got to think about this more holistically. Don't scale down the debate and just go game for game. That's not taking the whole picture into consideration. People don't just buy one game. Look at the costs that it was the game in them older gens with the cartridges. Look at all the costs associated in order to enjoy your favorite games. Look at it now. Even when you adjust for inflation. And there's more games coming out now that people like. So they're like, fuck, I gotta pay for this. I gotta pay for that. My controller now breaks. Them old school controllers were not breaking. We used to fight each other, hit each other with those motherfuckers, do all types of crazy shit, and then plug them back in and play them, and nothing was, the wall was maybe chipped. You maybe it broke a bone in somebody's hand, but them controllers were intact back in the day. Those were some tough ass motherfuckers. Now, just using the thumbsticks now, they drift. So you're buying multiple controllers. That's a given. It wasn't like that back then. The costs were a lot tighter. That's what you got to compare. You can't just compare a singular game to a singular game. That doesn't tell the whole story. So that's why I think I was arguing, Cole, I was letting them know, that you might run into a situation this year where Game of the Year goes to Expedition 33, even though Death Stranding or maybe even Ghost of Yotei are better games, because people, I think, want to send a message. They want that AA game to win Game of the Year because they're upset that AAA games are going to be demanding more, even though they're not giving you more. But that's not Ghost of Yotei or Death Stranding's fault. But they might be in the crosshairs. They might catch a stray.
Oh, Expedition's gonna win just because it's a multiplayer, nothing else.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Shout out to Geek to Sneak in the chat. Lionel Bolger says Death Stranding's 2 story is so much better. Voyager 88 says, I hope Borderlands 4 is good. Hey, Voyager, and you bring up an interesting game. And I am a Borderlands nut. Like the first Borderlands, I played on everything possible. Wasn't the biggest fan of 2. I did like 3. But I gotta say, as someone who is big on Borderlands, I booted up Tiny Tina, and I did that with Cold Blood, and I just was like, more of the same. Like Borderlands is missing some quality of life enhancements. I get if the gameplay is fun, that's great. But again, we got $50 games with fun gameplay. Like you have to use new tech. You have to use the latest and greatest tech. I really feel like, you know, Borderlands needs to go through a transformation, not necessarily perspective. They don't have to go to third person. They don't have to, you know, go to realistic graphics. They can still be cell shaded, but you can infuse a visual overlay. Like the monsters and everything still moves and reacts the same. It feels like, honestly, it looked to me like Borderlands 3.5. Like it's really missing some quality of life stuff. Borderlands needs to go through a quality of life transformation in the vein of a God of War. Like God of War 2018 versus the 3 or 4 prior God of Wars. Like it needs to go through a transfer. Can still be first person, but maybe add a third person mode. I think the visuals, they need to go and give you like a cell shaded thing, like the animes. Animes now are infusing like anime and CGI, where at first it looked like crap, but I saw like one particular anime, I forgot the name of it, where it actually looked decent. I'm like, oh shit, that looks decent. Like they need to mix up the cell shaded aspect of it. I will be honest with you. I first was like turned off to Borderlands. This is prior to launch of the first one. And you guys probably don't remember this. When Borderlands first came out, it was supposed to have realistic graphics. Bet you guys didn't know that. It was supposed to have realistic graphics. And something had happened. I think Rage had came out or something had came out. And they changed their mind and they went to cell shaded, and that was probably the best thing they could have done back then. It really worked out for them back then.
You know what they did?
What's that?
They Xboxified Borderlands.
They see if thieves it. Did they do this number? Did they do fuck that water? Did they do this?
Yeah.
Fuck that water. I'm gonna be honest with you. I could go for Borderlands that isn't so cell shaded. Maybe cell shaded on the outline or even realistic. Like they gotta do something, man. Because here's my thing, Voyager, and I don't want to sound like a sourpuss, but you're charging $70. I'm sorry. This is why I can identify a lot with the argument of AA games putting AAA games to shame. I'm talking about what they're asking for. I'm not saying that AA games now are better than AAA games, but we're seeing AA games give you just as much, if not more, all the way around. I'm talking about visuals, content, and quality as counterparts that want you to give them $30 to $40 more. That's shameful. So because that's shameful, I do sympathize with the argument. Because the industry is behind asking for $80. When to me, they don't deserve it. They deserve $70 now because they finally made enough push in the innovation and tech that they didn't quite reach last gen, but they did it now to justify an increase in the price. It's not my fault that you guys just continue to use bloated tech to make your games because you didn't want to sit down and do the R&D to create your own engines that didn't have as much bloated tech. It's not my fault. That's on you. Because the outcomes were not as impressive enough to justify it. They were not impressive enough to justify it. Y'all should have sat, just like y'all sit together and come up with codecs and all types of other shit as an industry. Y'all should have sat together and said to Epic, hey, look, man, it's cool that we can use your engine, but we got to come up with something cheaper, man. that allows, you know, more to be done with less resources. Y'all could have been working on this AI shit years ago. But no, y'all just continue to work on bloated tools and charge us more for it. That's the industry's problem, not mine. And those bloated tools didn't produce enough of a technological leap until this generation. Now there's enough of a technological leap where your output shows us that, hey, you should be charging us $70 for game. Again, I'll go back to the lemonade stand scenario. I got a lemonade stand. I'm like, ooh, I want this lemonade stand to, I want to sell the best lemonade. So I'm going to hire 30 people to work on this lemonade stand instead of just 2. So I got all these costs associated now because I hired 30 people. Here the lemonade maybe tastes a little bit better. I can't go from charging $1 a glass to $20 a glass because I decided to hire 30. The product doesn't show that 30 people worked on this shit. It tastes nominally better. The 2 people could have done it the way the outcome was. It's nominal. Let's just say I add 5 more. So now I got 35 people working on it. Now it's like, oh shit, this tastes way better. Now I can charge $5 a glass instead of $1 a glass. But I don't get to say, oh, okay, now that we got it and we charge $5 a glass, now we're going to go up to $7. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but eventually the industry or the community or the consumer base is going to react to, whoa. Because they're going to look at what you did at 70 when I went from $5 and let's just say now I want to go to $10. They're going to say, what changed from when you went to 5 to 10? Oh, well, when we went up to 5, we didn't charge you enough. No. When you went from $1 to $5 a glass, it justified going from $1 to 5. It don't justify you going from $1 to 10. Fuck out of here. And then another lemonade stand opens across the street. You're only charging $2. And it tastes just as good as your lemonade at 10 for $2. So if someone were to walk out and say, oh, this lemonade stand is putting your lemonade stand to shame, it doesn't mean that just because there's a whole bunch of people at a lemonade stand that you can't make good lemonade. It just means that, hey, the fact that you're trying to penny pinch us because you were too bloated, it's shameful. It's putting you to these motherfuckers, there's just 2 of them over here. They're just charging $2 and they're putting you to shame. They're talking holistically. People got to learn how to start looking at shit more holistically instead of just looking at an individual morsels and bites. When you look at it more holistically, it makes sense. Geek to Sneak in the chat says Expedition 33 is a great game. The price was a bonus. Voyager says, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Cell Shade art back when it dropped, but it's grown on me and I think it holds up pretty well good with it. I do too. I think it's still a fun experience, but when we look at what people are giving us for $70, I just expect more. I just want more quality of life. And I just think at least visually, for crying out loud, like the enemies are still moving the same, at least visually. I don't think a grappling hook or a particular type of slide justifies this is still the quality of product that we're getting at 70. And then there was a debate of, was it going to be 80? I don't think so. You can still find footage of the old, I got to look at that. The OG Borderlands trailer. Okay, if you find it, that'd be great. Before we get out of here, I did kind of go over what me and you had talked about, Cobra, but before we roll, what do you think about what do you think about the debate of who could possibly win? Death Stranding 2, Expedition goes to Yotei. I know you said it because it's a multi-plat. If it won, that's the only reason why. But
well, it's gonna be the biggest reason why it's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
That's for damn sure. Like this jury that fucking Jeff Keighley has, they are on everything, bro. The Xbox, PC, PlayStation, they are on everything. And you know the Xbox and PC dudes ain't gonna make no fucking Death Stranding or Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, true.
Well, look, the GOTY this year is probably gonna be Ghost, Expedition, Death Stranding, Kingdom Come Deliverance. What else came out this year? I don't know, Monster Hunter maybe. And one more game, but the last game I have no idea. Like the year is long still, so
yeah.
We got still some games coming out this year, so
Yeah,
maybe something else is gonna come
July.
out.
Yeah, it's still just July, so we don't know. Okay, that's cool.
I mean, maybe this what's it called? This game from the Black Desert developers.
Oh yeah.
Crimson Desert. Maybe.
Well, we got 18 votes on the poll about who's gonna win Game of the Year. And Death Stranding 2 and Expedition 33 are on a dead heat tie. They're both at 38%. Ghost of Yotei is at 11, and then at 11%, Truck That Said Something Else. Oh shoot, yeah. So okay. Well, with that said, that's our show for today. We appreciate you guys for coming by. Like I said, I got a new phone. It's not the best. These motherfuckers at Motorola's trying to scam me. It's just a backup phone, but I tested it out. It will let me record, so I will be able to make content again. I might even make something for you guys tomorrow, just to show you, that it's working. And then we're gonna do the videos when I can, and definitely do the podcast. It's just been hard. As soon as I leave work, I got to go into the bit. Like I don't even have any time in between anymore. It's nuts. I can't wait for this project to be over. Hopefully it'll be over by the end of this month. It might be even a week sooner. We'll see. Anything else, Cold Blood, before we get out of here, brother?
Buy Death Stranding, goddammit.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna get it.
No, not you. No. You are banned from buying. No, I gatekeep you from this because
man.
if you did not like the first one, don't buy the second one. That's 100%. Because you ain't gonna like it the same as you didn't like the first one. Because you might think, oh, there's so much more combat. Well, there's at least as much more fucking deliveries. And if you did not like it in the first one, you ain't gonna like it in the second one at all.
I don't mind the delivering part. I just like for shit to be happening. But people say that to me about Horizon. I love the second Horizon. Fucking love it. I'm gonna give it a
but
shot.
Horizon was always about combat, so that's different. But Death Stranding 2, bro, I mean the combat is much better in the second one, but it's still not so much that you would say, oh, it's so fucking amazing.
And and this is the best time more than ever for me to play Death Stranding, because literally for the last, I've been getting like maybe a half an hour here, half an hour there, or whatever. For the last couple of months, the only thing I've played is V Rising. And Don't get me wrong, there's action, there's fighting in that game, but most of that game is setting shit up, building and setting shit up. Then I would say it's like 80% building and setting shit up and 20% fighting. Yeah, 80% building, setting shit up and traveling, and 20% fighting. And you know, I'm a big action freak, but I love other shit too, as long as you do it right. And for all intents and purposes, like everybody is saying, I don't know. Yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Everybody is saying that Death Stranding 2 to them is a better experience than 1. I'm not saying that 1 is bad. I couldn't enjoy it, but everybody is saying that Death Stranding 2 is a better experience than 1.
Listen, if you liked the loneliness of the first one, like the fucking vibes of it, the second one gives you that, but less.
Okay.
It is much more fast paced than that.
Okay.
So I don't know, brother. I don't know if you're gonna like the second one, but because the first one is like a test. If you did not if you did not get on the test at least a C, which you didn't, you get a fucking F on your test with Death Stranding 1. I don't think you're gonna like Death Stranding 2 at all. Because you need to be in that fucking zone, bro, with this game.
Okay. That's cool. Hold on. Let me listen to something real quick. Hold on, you guys. Before we go,
and since you do not like storytelling as much, you ain't gonna get Death Stranding 2 at all.
No,
so.
I don't. It's not that I don't like storytelling. I love storytelling. I don't require it. You know
well, you like storytelling when heads get blown off. Yeah, I know.
Oh no! Well, no. I like.
Well, yeah. Remember Expedition 33? Your favorite scene was when they got fucking massacred.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
he got me. He got me, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was about to say, but in Expedition 33, but yeah, that was the part where they were getting massacred. No, I don't mind the story. And let me think. What's the game's story? Well, I was loving Ghost of Tsushima story.
So much that you only played 7 hours of it.
Yeah. I mean, but no, I was enjoying that. Yeah, I don't mind story in a game. I just don't require it in order for it to be a good game. But yeah, I can't. He read my mind. He knew exactly where I was going. And I was about to go. I was say I like Expedition 33, but then I was like, oh no, yeah.
That's why I would rather recommend to you to keep playing Expedition instead of Death Stranding. I bet the chat gets Death Stranding too. That's you, bro.
Damn, hey, you know, Luke Trucknet, you ain't the only one catching L's today. I feel so bad. Oh shit, he clipped me. God damn. Clip that shit. Stop me dead in my tracks. God damn. Yeah. Oh man, let me do this, y'all. I think we might not. You gotta excuse me. And I gotta pause the music. I might have a gem for you. Hold on. Where's the music at? I might have a gem for you. I can't go. Let me listen to something. I got to make sure I turn this off though, because hold on. Where's let me turn this off first. No, I'll play the music because it'll be weird for y'all to just listen to silence. Let me listen to something. I was just sent something. Oh shit. Let's see here. I'm gonna send it to you, Cold Blood, but hold on. Wait, give me a second. Let's see here.
What you got there? I swear, if this is some hentai shit, bro, I'ma block you. I'm telling you.
Oh no. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I might have something. Hold on. So I was sent here. I was sent something, Cold Blood. I'm gonna send this to you. And someone said you gotta watch this. So let me play this. They said, "Watch. Let's watch. This is from your favorite dynamic duo." Somebody sent this to me. Don't be mad at me. Steve Money and Doodlebug. Is that her name? Doodlebug? Yeah, Doodle. Okay. All right. It's because somebody sent this to me. This is from a year ago from their podcast. Holy shit. This looks like this looks like when she used the word embarrassing. This looks like this could be embarrassing, as she said earlier. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play it for you guys. Let me get right here and let's pause the music. So this is apparently Xbox responds to the first party drama, the Xbox Corner with C Money and Doodle. Let's watch this. This is from a year ago, mind you. So let's see let's see their predictive premise here. Let's go.
So it says bread, right? In our new toaster. Have you seen it? Yes, we have. We're getting ours. It's on its way. Can't wait. Activision Blizzard King is in. Finally closed, and now they're fully in.
Absolutely.
First party games. First party games
Are in.
are in. Not out. Not out there for others to enjoy, but in-house here for the Xbox.
This is a year ago.
Playing more indie games and console love. Doodle, console love.
Console love, not PC, right?
Not mobile.
Not mobile.
Console
love.
love. Because
Console love in first party games.
Console love.
it does. It seems like that's exactly what they're trying to link together. Because if they were in fact going third party, as many of these clowns on the internet would like to lead you to believe, then they wouldn't be focusing on their console, right? They would be focusing on other consoles and other platforms. So that's what's in. What's out? The toast, right? Popping out of our new toaster. Facts. Okay, cool. But this is the moment right now where all your ponies who are watching, because I know a bunch of you are watching because you're looking to talk shit. No problem. Xbox came out and decided to talk shit first to you. Out.
I don't want to play anymore because I think that was enough there. But now I think Cold Blood that brings home what we were saying earlier. There's a difference between embarrassment and hopelessness. Look at Doodlebug, or Doodle to be free. I keep calling her Doodlebug. I'm thinking of Diggable Planets. Look at her. She looks totally different from, let's see here. Do we have the old clip up here? Do we still have the old clip?
Well, because she doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Look at that. There's no scowl on her face. She doesn't look like she's been to hell and back and shit. She looks happy. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find that clip again. There it goes. Look at her. She looks so pleasant and shit like that. Look at this shit, bruh. Look at this shit. Now look at her here.
Hours in there, you see the lighting.
Look at her. It's a totally different.
You see
totally different. Look at her.
on freaking Fortnite. You do. And if you go and compare the two, you'll be like, oh crap, really? Okay, so for PlayStation.
Look at her. She's breathing hot fire. She spits hot fire. Look at her. Look. She's so pleasant. Just there, just kicking it. So calm.
Grass you can touch if you want.
Look at that.
Stop crying.
Just nodding.
Go touch some grass.
Go touch some grass.
Right.
This is someone that despite them being symbiotic to bullshit, they're pleasant, they're happy. This right here is the look of somebody infused with desperation. with anger, with hopelessness. Look. Look. All you gotta do is look. There you have it. Interestingly.
Boss, look at Twitter. Look at Twitter.
Let me see. Yes. It's totally different. Oh my God, it's like two different people. Look, I know it's a year, but it's not 80 years. Look, she's just so pleasant.
You ain't got nothing else to do.
Something else.
Get off the Twitter.
And she lost all the color, bro, in her skin.
Oh my God! It's the lighting. It's the lighting of Fortnite better than everything. Jesus Christ! Damn, the lighting in Fortnite is better than the lighting in your face right now. Jeez Louise! Look at that! Look at that! And just look at the sky! Look! So much more pleasant, so much more flush. But at this point, if you continue to serve the lie, you got no one but yourself to blame. No one but yourself to blame. Tierra says the dark side consumed her. All right, we're gonna get out of here, folks. I would just send something. I wanted to check it out before I shared it with you guys. But appreciate all of y'all. Till next time, you all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.